Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Crashing Push with Crash the Game Itch. It's the time for the episode of the Comments Podcast.
We're on time this time.
Boy, yeah, we actually are on time. The last Tuesday of the month for a change.
Woo!
We did it,
guys. We got it on time.
It only took us getting caught up on YouTube to actually do that. Because funny story, all the previous episodes are all up on YouTube now.
Yeah.
So I finally don't have to watch the podcast every single week just to check everything.
Oh my god.
Just in case one of us has not said anything controversial.
I just realized we are on episode 47. Good
We're on
job,
episode 47.
Yes. We are on episode 47.
I should have worn my suit and shirt and red tie.
Unfortunately, I don't have a tattoo on the back of my bald head.
I mean,
I
I don't
have
know.
nothing to offer you but being an NPC.
I don't know whether I've got a tattoo there myself because there's kind of a lot of stuff in the way.
I do have some coins handy around here. I can start throwing them.
Oh
I
God!
do not have.
I
I
have a
don't have
suitcase.
any. According to the fucking Tumblr quiz I took a couple of days back, I am the most boring motherfucker you've ever seen in your entire life.
Wow.
I strongly disagree.
Well,
I've known you for 5 years. You are not boring by any stretch.
give it to the 6th year.
as if that's going to change something. Welcome to the show. Anyone who wants to know who we are, my name is Ebak, and I'm joined by Burr, Shadow, and Lemming. And we basically for the last Tuesday of each month, normally, which is this instance for the first time in a long while, we get together and we kind of just talk about what we've been playing. We also talk about the general news topics and also just try and find something interesting to talk about within the gaming sphere.
And
Okay.
occasionally we yell about politics.
And we kind of, we do yell about politics a little bit. Usually in relation to gaming and the zeitgeist media. I mean, to be fair, our last episode, we were going to talk about the homogenization of video games and not talking about gay representation in video games and some people not liking that, apparently.
In fairness, we got the news kind of sidetracked us, kind of fiercely.
Yeah, I blame Stuttering Craig for that one. But yeah, that's just me. Welcome to the show, everyone. So let's kind of kick off with what we've been playing. I'm actually going to be unusual and start with myself for a change.
Wow!
I think that's the
Wow.
first time in the history of us doing like what we've been playing section that I've actually started with myself. So what I've been playing, fuck all. Because I'm
Sure
still.
would be nice if I had a gaming PC to play these games on.
She beat me to it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I have been playing some things other than that. I've also discovered a few things. Like I did play Ghostbusters: Spirits Unleashed, which was a few weeks ago, which is very fun with Shadow and a few other friends. I've also been testing out Guilty as Sock, which has been an interesting experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a game which I'm looking forward to us doing on.
That is a
Friday.
game.
What do you mean it's a game?
Oh, surely a game.
Are you seeing what it is, Shadow?
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I was making a joke. I was being funny.
Well, no, I'm just saying because I don't know whether you've seen it or not. I've also been smack down in the city of Lumiose doing some shiny hunting, and some alpha hunting. Not some shiny alpha hunting, just some alpha hunting and just some shiny hunting. I am not doing some shiny alpha hunting.
He says.
He says no.
Maybe a couple of Pokemon, not all of them.
He says no.
Look, I gotta get Major Slash in like shiny alpha. I just gotta. But yeah, that game's
Yes,
fun.
Benny.
I really did enjoy playing it. I also liked how Nintendo, for the first time, I've actually listened to people, and decided, let's make.
Nintendo listens to people? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they actually, because everyone was complaining that the to get the what was it, the Greninjite, for mega evolving your Greninja, you had to get to rank N, I think is what it was. M. So halfway through the alphabet of ranks, in online ranked play. Now, I will say, people are saying, oh, it's easy. It doesn't take too long. Yeah, that's
what Lewis said.
Yeah, now listen. I will admit, it was only 2 hours. It was, and I'm looking at the camera as I say this, the most excruciatingly unfun 2 hours of my entire existence on this planet. So,
And it took my mother several hours to buy me. I don't know why I thought that was appropriate to say, but
well, that's getting cut. So
you can leave that in if you want. Like
look at this funny sticker for a little. There you go. There.
yeah.
death metal.
There's a death metal sticker for you.
You
How
can leave that
brutal.
in for the YouTube folks.
How colourful.
But yeah,
Yes.
that was unfun. So I'm glad they actually changed it. So like, oh yeah, okay, they actually threw those people a bone. You get it at rank.
S.
No, not
Sierra.
S. S is where you get the Delphox side. But if you didn't take,
Okay.
but they did say, do you know what? If you get to rank, I think it was like V or something, we'll give you the Greninjite. So that basically it made
Oh, that's pretty decent.
so many easy, and they haven't done that for the next season. So clearly that was a offer for those people that felt that it was too hard to get to N. But the fact that they brought it down to S, much more manageable. I did it within 20 minutes. Took me 2-3 games.
Golly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm amazed to think of what happened with Battlefield recently. The new Battlefield, which is going quite well. I haven't played it yet. I do intend to get it at some point and play it. But there's a challenge to unlock a weapon in that game. And the challenge was 200 headshots over 200 meters. Yeah, the devs realized how bad that was and reduced it to 5.
What were you going to say, Shadow?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
forgot.
Oh, no.
I think it was something to do with like, wow, that Nintendo employee is gonna get fired. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
However,
that's what
I wanted to express my surprise that that game is gonna have seasons.
No, it's pretty much it's
Do-
pretty
do
much the
Pokemon's
same
always
as
have that?
other Pokemon games though. That the Pokemon games have always had seasons. This is not a surprise to me.
Huh.
yeah, because they do have, because there is actually a very, not surprised, it's a very big actually competitive scene in Pokemon.
Yeah, and they're really leaning into it
Yeah,
with this
but-
game. It seems.
Yeah, they really are.
And that just proves that I don't know jack and shit about Pokemon.
In fairness, Bert, your first game was Sword and Shield. You be nice to
Yeah.
yourself.
It was also my last game.
Do you know what? It made me think: is Pokemon a live service game? Because if you think about it, I'm not saying like you pay live service, but like they're always like giving you drip feed content in the forms of like, oh, you know, a few months in, oh, new mystery gift, this Pokemon in shiny form, things like that. They always have content to try and pull you back
I
in a
mean,
little bit.
Yeah,
I
but
would say it's more like a long-standing support game, not like
Yeah,
like
Mm.
service.
In that regard, I would argue that would you say that City Skylines is a live service game if they keep adding DLC and content to it?
Yeah, or No Man's Sky.
Good point.
Yeah.
I will see the point there. I was only making an argument, didn't I? So I believe.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, I was actually thinking, like, could Pokemon actually get away with a live service game? Really?
I hope it will lose immediately at least half of them.
No, but think about. But if you have the right kind of game, they could possibly get away with it. I'm not saying that this is a good thing. I'm just thinking because, like you've said before, El, that FIFA could, as a live service, like constantly being updated.
Yeah, there was just one of them.
Yeah, there are certain games
Yeah.
that work for it. Like example, sports games, I think actually do have an argument for a live service model because all you're doing when you're buying the games year upon year, you're not really buying a big improvement of these games. They are generally just kind of because
It's updating the rosters.
Yeah. And there's also a reason for that. There's also a good reason for that. It's because these games don't have a lot of development time, there's not enough time for them to upgrade the engine. Whereas what you could do is be like, okay, we're going to do live service for about 3 or 4 years, and then we'll release a new game. That will give us time to actually update the engine and provide new, fresh content for the next game, actually making the next purchase more worthwhile.
I would also
That
say
being said, they already have a live service game.
I mean, yeah.
It's called Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
That is true.
Just wanted to say that also when a game is when the gameplay loop is quick, that works better in live service game, like with FIFA, where you have quick matches, with shooty games like Fortnite or Valorant or Marvel Rivals. Those kind of make sense because you very quickly run through the content, and it's more important, more pressing to have like regular updates, regular refresh of things. Whereas in Pokemon, it's just ongoing game. You do have encounters within it, but you like run around places, gather things.
Counterpoint: MMOs. Those are long form content that are constantly running.
Yeah, it really.
I mean, honestly, I would, as much as I rag on Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, a Pokemon MMO, I would be down for 100%.
It could work. It could work very well for them.
That is probably the one MMO that could fucking work these days, because like every other MMO is just like new MMO is just like flopping onto the stage and immediately fucking dying. Like, Amazon's New World has recently had the axe put to it. Yeah, that was a good idea. Jesus Christ.
I am looking forward to Pokemon Champions though, which looks interesting. So it's gonna be fun.
Not really my bag. I'm not a big Pokemon. I'm here to get my little guys and raise them to their full forms. And then
I agree, but it's just nice to us to have like a Pokemon Stadium like game where it's like you could do Mega Evolutions and Gigantamaxing if you want to.
Yes.
So I think that's quite nice that they're opening the doors for that, and also having a long-term game like that can utilize.
Yeah.
Anyway,
also Potopia, which is something different.
And Potopia, yes. All right, so that basically has been me. I was there. Okay, good. I thought someone knocked on the door for a second there. That basically has been me because I've not been gaming a lot this month because again I've kind of been in a sort of a limbo because I'm waiting for something to arrive.
I bet good money will arrive when we're here.
No, do you know what? I'm fully expecting it to turn up either this week or next week.
Yes.
If it turns up next week, I'm definitely having Burr's help taking up the stairs because that's a big boy.
Yeah, don't ask me. I'm a little weak.
Yeah, no.
I mean, this just look at my pasty little arms here.
No, Shadow's gonna stand behind with a whip going mush, mush, mush.
Look, chat. Like, if you've seen fucking Ibrak stairs, I'm there to call the emergency services if something goes wrong.
So it has a curve off of 3/4 of the way up the stairs.
To be honest, though, we're getting a carpet and we're dragging the fucker up the
channel
stairs.
where you go up, and also those stairs are steep in certain areas. They're a fucking. I'm just here to ring the emergency services if something happens.
But yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been playing. I've not been playing anything else. I have had my eye on Assassin's Creed Mirage because I've got that, but I've not broken the kind of the glass on that one yet. Anyway,
sure it's not just been in a Mirage.
But see, actually, the reason I want to try that is because there's been an update where there's free story content and an update to increase the parkour. What the hell, Ubisoft? What have you done? Who are you and what have you done with the real Ubisoft?
Yeah. There's one good thing about Assassin's Creed Mirage. It very often has incredibly attractive discounts. So observe this place. It's gonna be on sale at one point around Christmas or another.
Well, I've already got Mirage.
They did actually reduce the price of that Avatar game by a lot, actually. Like, I remember seeing that and me going, actually starting to get interested in that right now, because I've always had that on my radar, but because it's always been like AAA prices, like I ain't fucking touching that.
So we'll talk about something later, but let's actually move on. Shadow, what have you been playing?
What you do for me, Dad? Yeah, I've been playing video games. I've totally not been making a list in the background, just like Steam, quick, bail me out.
I can help you with one game.
I played a couple of games. I had a brief fling with Kaiju Dating Simulator. That's a cute game. That's a cute dating simulator. It's all right. Not for me though. It's okay. It's okay if you like those kind of things. It's very cute, but not for me. But
Tried the demo is fun but weird. Definitely a lemming and drifting game.
Yes. You have to remember, there is a bit of memory game at some points where you're like, you have to remember where you took them on the first date, and it's like,
Oh no!
Oh no! It's like real life. No.
That's
No!
me ruined.
Yeah, and I've also been playing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader with Lemming on Thursdays. We'll be playing it again this Thursday. Woo! And then we'll take a break while I'm in Norwich, and then we'll get back to it,
Yeah.
hopefully. So yeah, that's been fun. I might do my own playthrough at some point, but being Lemming's like pet psyker has been very fun. I just cast healing. Well, I don't. It's not really a healing spell yet, but it's more like Word of the Emperor, have buffs, and then occasionally I shoot people.
I have to constantly remind myself that you are saying psyker with the R at the end, not psycho.
I mean, most psychers are psychopaths, so
yeah, almost the same thing.
Yeah, almost the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Lemming's little psycho.
Yeah, I've also recently gone back into Spore for a little while. I don't know why. I've had an itch for that. It's very dated. It's so dated now. It's so funny. But like, there's always been like a sweetness to Spore that it's got a place in my heart, and I can't like this. For some reason, the cell stage is like the best fucking stage in that entire game. It's like I could play the cell stage over and over and over again. Like I played it enough that I could pretty much like I can get my way through it. I know how to like I know how to get all the parts by basically fixing a spike onto the front of my face and ramming speed at every Titan that I see. It's very funny. And then the creature stages. Okay, that's the main draw really. It's okay. It's very dated now. You could definitely see it with the like I don't have any like HD patches or anything, but like oh boy, does this look like it was released in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Bless its soul. And it's got some like jankiness around it, like the creature coming to a full stop when you change like from the social menu to the aggressive menu, and it's like, why are you doing this?
It's a very Molyneux kind of game.
Yeah, and then there's the tribal stage, which exists, and the civilization stage, which also exists, and then the space stage, which is where you're supposed to spend most of your time, but it's shit. Anyway, Spore's all right. I'm enjoying going back to it for a little while until my itch is scratched, and then I will uninstall it and do something else. And then the main game that I've mostly playing Spore, but I've gotten back into Marvel Rivals. I bet you can't guess why.
We'll give you 3 guesses, chat.
Like no, Gambit's a very pretty man, okay? They made him too pretty for my. They made him too fucking pretty, okay?
And his voice.
If they brought in a map that you quite like,
the what was I gonna do, kind of thing. But in fairness, like it's quite funny actually because I've never played a hero shooter before. I've never played Overwatch, never played anything or any of its like kin. So this is my first time like getting into this kind of thing, and it's. I mean, I'm competent. I'd like to think.
Oh yeah. Also, this game has VR chat. Well, this game has in-game chat, which is the Times Square area.
Yeah, like Times Square is a fun area now that they've recently added, where you just piss about for a bit.
That people have immediately found a out of bounds glitch for.
Oh yeah, no,
yes.
The apps are already like stealing people into the out of bounds area. It's very funny.
Also, in the out of bounds area, there are places where your powers stop working suddenly.
Yeah, I will say though, Marvel Rivals, like I suppose any other fucking like competitive PvP thing, is infinitely improved if you just turn the fucking chat off. Like I don't know what people are saying to me. I'm going to keep it that way. They can be angry that my Gambit healing is not as good as it should be. I don't care. I don't know what you're doing. You can go fuck yourselves. Kind of thing. The only thing I care about is the people in the voice chat with me. Like, you're just going to have to fucking deal. I'm sorry. I will say, though, I do really enjoy playing Gambit because I was a little bit worried about using him because people say he's a bit complex, and I can see why there's considerable depth to his kit, but it scratches my head good in a weird way. It like knowing when to use the cards and which cards to use. Like I use the bridge boost far too often. I know I should be using my purified cards a lot more and in better situations. But the deck bounces between people. It's an easy way to heal people very very quickly when everything's going to shit. And then occasionally I use my spade deck and kill people. But most of the time it's like. Most of the time, I'm doing the eternal healer refrain of like, my cards go around corners. If you want me to heal, please stay in my line of sight. Oh my fucking god! There was a Wolverine was like, yeah, I'm gonna tank, and I'm like, that's great, bro. I can't get to you to heal you. So anyway, Marvel Rivals is fun. I say that, but I've not actually gone into a PvP match yet. That will be for the future. And my tune might change drastically. But then again, I have the chat off, so, it can only get so bad.
I don't think you have to go PvP. It's not fun.
You do have to in order to get more stuff for your character, to get more
That's
stuff
true,
out of it.
but that's the kind of strategic decision whether you want to have stuff or whether you want to have fun.
I want stuff, okay?
More than fun.
I want stuff for my man. I want to level him up. Maybe I'll get into Lord in the next 5 years. Who knows?
Is that what you've been playing?
Yes.
I just want to quickly go back to it because there's actually something I've been playing that I could forgot to mention, and that is Manic Miners. I've been playing some Manic Miners again. There's some like a Rock Raiders remake, effectively, for those curious. So yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, Leving, what have you been playing?
We'll start on the bottom. Me being me, I've been playing quite a lot, but I tried a bit of Sonic Rumble.
Ah, yes, that
that game.
thing.
Yeah, it's a game. It is one of the games of all time.
It sure is.
Yeah, it's Fall Guys with the Sonic skin slapped over it, with egregious monetization.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing
that's
it with.
About it.
I'm going to be playing it with Laura and the guys for because as a Game Buster War stream. I will admit, I appreciate what it's trying to do, but if there's a game that I am the least interested in, it's that.
Basically, I installed it because Wade was playing, and I was like, I'll see what this is. It might be good for a pizza party or whatnot. It's like, nah. I'll install it if a pizza party happens, but
especially since there is a few pay to kind of win style mechanics in there. And
you can buy upgrades and things.
Yes, you can unlock them before, but I don't like the fact that in order to prepare for this game that I'm going to play with the game Weird Blasters, it's basically a case of, you might want to play a lot in order to get these things. I'm like, so you're asking me to play a game I don't really want to play in order to kind of stand a chance against...
to be competitive.
To stand a chance. So I'm just going to turn up and be like, I'm going to lose, and I don't fucking care.
Good call.
So,
that's probably the best thing to do for this. I have a list of games, so I'm going to... one of the best games to come out recently that I've been playing is Dispatch. Finally finished the final episode. Oh my god, I want to play it again and again just to see all the different twists and turns and different endings. But Dispatch is great. The voice acting, the character design, everything about it is top tier. That's about all I'm going to say on that one because I think I went a bit long on it recently. But I played the first 2 episodes on stream. Not playing anymore. It's a story-based game. Go play it.
Yeah, I played the first half an hour and it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Oh, it really is. I've also been playing Power Simulator 2, which has near flawless multiplayer. Near flawless because we did find some glitches when we played it in multiplayer with Weird FTW and friends. Tower Dominion has been getting played recently as well. We also have finally releasing Cleared Hot.
I've got my eye on Cleared Hot.
Played the Strike games.
I really... I was looking and thought, $11.99 right now.
Have any of you ever played any of the Strike games?
I do not know what that is.
No.
Starting on the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis for our US friends, it was a series of top-down shooters where you played an attack helicopter riding around various levels, completing objectives, and trying not to get shot out of the sky. It was very popular up until the PlayStation 1 era when the last one was released, and then it got quietly killed by EA. Thanks, EA. This is basically an indie resurgence of that style of game.
Yeah, I think
attack helicopter flying around shooting stuff.
I'd actually argue it didn't get killed by EA. It got killed by the transition of 2D to 3D games. And that, like, we don't need to do top-down because we can do 3D. You can do camera movements and all this luck.
Yeah, they did 2 3D versions. They did Nuclear Strike and, they did Soviet Strike and Nuclear Strike. Both were amazing games. I enjoyed them. But then they just never made another one.
In fact,
the game they were going to create got turned into Future Cop LAPD.
In fact, have you ever played Arm and Air Attack, Lemming?
No.
I'd say that those are actually quite close to what a 3D, quote-unquote, Desert Strike would have been. Because you literally have a winch, which you can pick things up with, and you are a helicopter and you shoot things. But yeah...
the winch mechanics are really fun. You can pick up literally anything and throw it at people.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm actually...
It's like, pick up that dead body, throw it at that dude.
Which I'm actually going to pick up Cleared Hot because it actually is in early access. They've got a roadmap. Yep. And there's hints that once they release the full campaign, it might be going up in pricing, so get it now when it's cheap. But yes. Anything else?
But even in its current form, it's like properly playable. It's very fun. I've also been playing Hades 2. Yeah, I've finally bought and given Sonic Racing Crossroad Worlds a try. I've only played it for a little bit, so I'm not saying much about that. Power Simulator 2, yep. And a new game has come out this week, actually, called Monsters Are Coming, Rock and Road.
Oh, yes, I saw that advertised on June.
Yeah, it came out on the 20th. It's also the developers have also recently brought out another game, I think, recently. No, actually. But yeah, it's a roguelike castle builder.
Yes.
Where you have a large castle traveling down a lane, and all sorts of enemies are cropping out of the woodwork and mountains around you, and you've got to fortify your castle while also going out there and attacking them yourself as your little dude who runs around. And you've also got to mine resources, rocks, stone, gold, etc., and basically get your castle to the next point and the end. As you gain levels by defeating enemies, you also level up and add bastions and parts to your castle, which allows you to be more powerful. And it's a roguelike. It's very difficult, but gets easier as you go along. You get to upgrade your stats, make it easier to mine things, make it faster to shoot things. And there are many difficulty levels, as with most roguelikes. But yeah, if you like building castles and going around shooting things, pretty good. I haven't played much, but I'm going to be playing more soon.
Nice.
When it comes to games I've played, I've been putting my time in on Dune Awakening, just keeping my fuel up and keeping that going. And Escape from Tarkov. This will probably be one of the last times I ever talk about it. Finally released into 1.0.
Woo!
It is now, as the developers call it, a full released product. It isn't, but we'll let them call it that. It's still a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the PvE aspect, where I can be on a server on my own and shoot AI enemies. It's great. Still getting my ass kicked by bosses, but that's when I run into them.
Yeah. Oh, what can you do?
That's been what I've been playing.
Nice. Burr, what have you been playing?
So I've been actually playing probably just 2 games. Occasionally I was playing Marvel Rivals with Shadow and Drifting and Mist.
He was being our big lovable tank. He was the big lovable tank, and I was the healer screaming at everybody.
It was a lot of fun.
Sounds very familiar.
Well, somebody, you DPS these days keep fucking running off while the healer can't fucking find you.
I was
why
playing.
need healing?
Yeah.
Well, maybe stop going around the corner and being ass deep in a Star Destroyer. Maybe I can heal you then. Anyway.
I don't know where you get this stuff from. Anyway,
Yes, I really enjoy playing either The Thing or Squirrel Girl or Iron Fist. Those are at the moment my mains, and they're fun. It's a lot of fun playing that game, especially when you like goof off around the practice area or the Times Square. It's super fun. Immediately, as soon as we've gotten into the Times Square, we have initiated a 6 gambit sit-off that I
Yeah,
put
the
a
Gambit parade was
screenshot
so fucking funny.
in
I
the
just
chat.
sat down next to another sat down, and then another Gambit joined me, and then another Gambit joined me, and I was like, yes, yes. And then a group hit us and threw us up in the air and ruined it all.
I mean, just the other night when I was playing, well, yesterday when I was playing a bit of Marvel Rivals with drifting, I did take part in a Venom twerk-off.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
That was fun.
I mean, you can stand cheek to cheek, back to back with two Venoms and initiate the twerking animation, and they sort of like trying to light a match together.
I don't think you ever want to be cheek to cheek with Venom. That's all I'm going to say.
Unless you are
Maybe you
another
should come
Venom.
watch us play Marvel Rivals, and maybe you'll change your tone.
Yeah. Yeah, a twerk off between two Venoms is a sight to behold.
It is a sight to behold. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Yeah, so actually, the two games that I've been mostly playing, one is Spider-Man 2. I finally decided to give it a go because it came out on PC like a year ago. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna play it, and it's incredibly fun. It is really great. Now with an upgraded graphics card, I was able to turn on all kinds of like ray tracing reflections and see myself in the windows and in the puddles of water, and it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Well, you're still getting 30 frames per second though, or 60 frames, I should say.
No, I mean, if I don't turn on like the extra frame generation from DLSS, I was getting like 30 to 40 frames. But the DLSS engine has really good frame generation, and it was very smooth. It was 60 to 80 frames.
Nice.
So it worked really well. And the story is beautiful. Go watch Ebex's playthrough on YouTube. It is complete right now, I think.
Actually, you're not wrong. The videos are going up. I don't think it's complete. I know that a lot of them are
I don't think it's complete yet, but
it will be complete soon. Go watch it.
Soon.
Yes.
Yeah. I can tell you, in fact, that. Do you know what? Actually, I think you actually might be right. I think that'll be done.
My boy's also nearly completed his Metroid Prime uploads, and I am waiting for them because I listen and /watch them when I'm at work, and it's just like, please give me more content.
The final Spider-Man episode we're going up this Thursday. So by the time you watch this,
Yay! So you can all go and watch it on YouTube. Also, what Sony does really great is localize the games for various places, and it is amazingly well done for Polish language and Polish voiceover and everything. It's really Sony requires all the accolades for all of that when they're doing big releases like The Last of Us or Uncharted or God of War or Marvel Spider-Man. They are doing really great localizations, and I've been having a lot of fun also because of that. It's a great game.
We like our localizations here. Also, I think I read somewhere recently that one of the Days 10 games recently got Polish localization. So, fun times there. Anything else?
Nice.
I would, if you could later provide me with that information, because I would love a localized attorney, and I've never been able to find it.
Might be wrong, but I'll definitely check it out.
Regarding Spider-Man, I just wanted to add one more thing. There's one negative in that whole game, and that is, just like with Miles Morales, one of the achievements is completed the story in New Game Plus, and I hate it. Why do I have to play the game again all over to get one achievement? That's upsetting.
Especially if there isn't much of a change between regular game and New Game Plus mode.
I would agree with that.
If there was like differences in the story, like some games do have that, they would have different story.
Yeah, I don't mind if there's like a change in the story or you get like new items and stuff like that. It's when it's just
Yeah.
like just play the game again, except it's slightly harder. It's like, or you could leave me alone.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, other than that, everything else I really enjoyed in Spider-Man.
Good.
And the last game that I want to talk about that I played is a game that I started in October because I wanted to play it through Spooky Month. But I got to after a few hours, I was like not really feeling great about this game. It needed to wait for almost 2 months, and then I thought, hey, how about I play the remaining 80% of the game that I did not get through? And I decided to force myself into playing 2 hours, then 4 hours, and suddenly I started feeling like I'm really enjoying this game. This game is the remake of Silent Hill 2.
Oh, nice.
And it's a remake that is done absolutely masterfully. This is also my first encounter with Silent Hill um, franchise. Although not really. I did play like a half an hour of Silent Hill 2 about like 20 plus years ago. I don't remember exactly how long ago, but it was the original. I did not enjoy that.
Oof.
But in the remake is absolutely brilliant. I would say it's even better as a remake than what Capcom has done to Resident Evil 2 when they remade that game. I kind of feel now that I finished Silent Hill 2, which I've finished it yesterday, I feel like this franchise is way better, way more interesting than the Resident Evil franchise.
Interesting.
How
think
can you say something so
so
honest and yet so
controversial and so
brave?
brave.
Say something so controversial that's so brave.
I don't think it's yeah, I mean, I think because I've not had much experience with it either. I know of I know of the story of the games and the general overview, but I've not played enough to get an opinion really on the games and the stories and so on and so forth.
Because on the surface, it's very similar in terms of how they
They're
were
survival
both
horror.
like very, very heavily inspired by Alone in the Dark, and you can tell Resident Evil is literally Alone in the Dark with numbers filed off, and at least Silent Hill 2 is like inspired by Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, Resident Evil is Alone in the Dark with the numbers filed off and with a gun.
Yes.
And
I mean, Alone in the Dark is Alone in the Dark with a gun because Edward Carnby has a gun.
yeah, he has a gun, but it's got like 2 bullets or something in it. So
That's true. You have to walk away to the monster's body, pick up the bullet, put it back in. No, I'm kidding.
The
You don't
smacks
have
of a
to do
game
that.
is just like, yeah, you can have a gun, I guess. You want to get 2 bullets though.
Yeah, I mean, you do have guns and you do have like melee weapons in Silent Hill 2, but the fight is just the extras, just the additional bit to the whole atmosphere and the whole very oniric, oppressive, weird, outworldly universe where like everyone is kind of feels very adult and out of their mind, and you have no idea for a long time. You have no idea what's going on, and the world is very interestingly built. Like you have this town that's covered in fog, that's very very atmospheric. Then it turns into this hellscape, and all of it. The visuals are absolutely great. The puzzles are amazing. It kind of feels like you have those areas that you can call sort of dungeons because you have a closed off sections where you like do puzzles to open some areas, do puzzles to find some things. On the way, you find out about yourself. You meet those characters that are also the game, and I would say if you enjoyed Ebek, especially you, if you enjoyed Resident Evil, I think you would enjoy Silent Hill as well.
It's on my radar. Like I say, it's always been those things where I've always been afraid to give it a try. I will give the Silent Hill 2 remake a try at some point. I promise myself that. It's just a case of when and where.
Yeah, the problem I had with this game is that, well, two problems. One problem is that in many cases it was like the tension was getting built up and up and up and up, and there were very few moments to really release that tension. It's like theoretically encounters with the monsters should be the releasing of those tensions, but that was not enough. It's like you could have skimmed a little of the tension off the top, but then when you go further through the area, it still builds up. You meet the monster, you skim a little of the top again, and it's really hard to have like proper release of the tension. You just constantly are on the edge of your seat. It's really heavy. You have to. The release of the tension is kind of in your own responsibility. You have to get away from the game, get up, have a cup of tea, maybe listen to some music, maybe go for a walk.
No, I'm great because go try. I'll probably have you and Shadow in the chat when I do give it a try because I'm gonna need some support.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Great. Anything else?
Yeah. No, that's basically it. I had a goal because on Thursday I am leaving for my parents and then for Norwich, and then back to my parents. And I would not have a chance to like finish that game before the end of the year. So I had a goal to finish it. I did, and I'm really happy that I did.
Good. Before we move on to like the news and things, there's the things I want to share. I found this the other day.
Oh yes.
I just thought that there was be interesting. This is my original Game Boy Color. This from all the way back in 1998.
And here's mine.
There's yours. I mean, I've got the Lego one. The show, but yeah, like it's even got
my GBA's in there somewhere.
It's even got like a copy of Pokemon Yellow right in there, and I found it with all its games as well. This thing is
nice,
and it's so weird. Like this thing still feels
tiny.
It's tiny. Yeah. It still has the battery pack from Electronic Boutique on the back as well.
Nice.
I'm debating what I want to do with this, because I kind of was thinking, do I get like a kit and I put like a rechargeable battery in here, like an LCD color screen? But then I'm like, yeah, but would I then use it? But then
yeah.
But then I'm like, but isn't that also part of the fun? Is the fact that you've done this? I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like I want to put it on a shelf somewhere, and like on a shrine, saying, alongside my 3DS, which is now mostly retired, and alongside my DS, which is now mostly retired, and my Vita, which is now also mostly retired, along with all the other consoles that kind of have now been retired or are rarely played these days. So maybe that was
it kind of feels like a mausoleum.
Well, no, that's why I don't want it to be. I want it to be like, that's why I don't want to get rid of them. It's because these are part of my history. These are part of me. And, and to be fair, my feet, they all still work. They all still work. I literally put fresh batteries in this the day I found it. It booted up, no problem. Like it booted up like it was still 20 years ago.
They're tough little guys.
Tough little guys. Well, I mean, yeah, we've seen they can withstand all kinds, including a bomb. Because there's that infamous Falklands War, wasn't there? There was a Gulf War. Gulf War.
Yeah,
that was
there was.
The Falklands was much later.
Yeah,
US infantry barracks took a mortar strike and it survived a direct hit.
Yeah.
The only thing they replaced was the screen. It's currently available to see in the Nintendo Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
incredible.
It's like partially charged, but it's like
still playing Tetris.
It's still playing. They replaced the screen, and it's still going.
The only console they'll support beyond its lifespan.
Oh!
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, and that is Oof, that is cutting right there.
Gambit just don't just cut with his cards, mon ami.
Oh God. Okay, so that's been that. Let's get into some news. Is there any news that people want to cover? I just think I want to cover, but I want to check if there's anyone else that wants to cover.
I am studiously ignoring the news. Oh no, there was that one thing that happened where Jeff Keighley, in his infinite wisdom, made like games for change or something.
Yes.
A long time ago, and then he was like, actually, this is too hard. Goodbye, kind of thing. When they actually wanted some change, they were like, oh, gross, no, go away.
Yeah, they were orphaned and mismanaged.
Yeah, the one there.
All else, and it sucked horribly.
Which I'm just gonna say, I know there's some people in this call who like Jeff Keighley. This just proves to me that he's literally just a nepo baby.
I mean,
just like he's pretending to do good, but really he's just here to be. He's one of those. I'm just gonna say it. He's a virtue signaler.
I don't like Keighley. I just think that we kind of need people, not him, but people like him. They're gonna be like, yo, take video games seriously. It needs to be not him.
Yeah, like I think if he actually grew a fucking spine, I think he would be more enjoyable to listen to. But he's just revealing himself now to just you're just an industry plant, my guy.
Yeah, I feel like that was Jeff Keighley's thing all along. It's like people take video games seriously because I need to make money off of it.
Yeah, I think I will say that Jeff Keighley has like his heart in the right place when it comes to video games. I think he does give a shit about the medium, but I think he's one of these guys. He's a very centrist guy who doesn't really want much change, and big change kind of scares him a little bit, kind of thing. And he, like, the Game Awards is literally just his place to pal around with the bigwigs of the video game industry. Like, I don't think he's actively malicious, but I do think he's a fucking wuss about it. And like, he of all people should be able to stand up in front of other people about the other games industry and say, "Hey guys, maybe the layoff, so like your layoffs suck, and so do you," kind of thing. But instead, we get this mealy mouthed kind of like, "We need to respect all of our employees," and da 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 da. No, you are a white man. You are a white fucking man you are a white man with lots and lots of money. If anybody can say the difficult stuff, it should be you.
I think it's also doesn't help the fact that the Game Awards are financed by game companies.
Yeah, but at some point, like, you have to make a
decision.
I agree.
Like, I'm not saying money. That. I think that's the problem. I think it needs to be financed in a different way so that it's not influenced by. Because the reason they don't is because they're worried that those developers will pull out. Which my response is to those developers: skill issue. Maybe if you don't be a douchebag, then you won't have someone call you a douchebag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know the Overton window has shifted of recent, but it's like, if it's kind of like there is a fine line between like kowtowing to advertisers and being able to like say what you want, and it's kind of like, where do you want to be on this scale? And I think at this point, Jeff Keighley is leaning more towards the corporate side, and I think more and more people are noticing now. I mean, I myself have lost. I've stopped giving him the benefit of the doubt. The only benefit I'll give you is I don't think you're actively malicious, but I think you are like putting your head
spineless.
In the sand. Yeah.
No, I think we've lost Lemming.
Yeah, Lemming's been eaten by the gods.
Yeah,
that happens every now and then.
Don't worry, he'll be back.
He'll be back.
I think Jeff Keighley took him.
He's transitioning through the warp. He'll be right back.
Well, the one I want to bring up is a little news article which I think we all have something to comment on. And it's this lovely article here, which is from IGN. You can't see the full thing, but I will bring it up so everyone can see the full thing. Assassin's Creed publisher Ubisoft says many new games are struggling as players turn away from traditional releases in favor of subscription, live service, and free-to-play games.
That is not...
I call bullshit, personally.
Yeah, no, that's not in my experience. In my experience, a lot of live service games are actively struggling.
Yeah. So this article, written by Tom Phillips, published on IGN, says, and I quote, Ubisoft warned of falling company revenues and said that it is seen that many new games are starting to stand out as players turn away from traditional full-price releases. Projects that would previously stood out are now finding it tough to, quote, achieve the sales they may once had. Ubisoft wrote in a UK financial filing, which blames a wider change in taste amongst players, explaining that, quote, traditional full game model of selling the single £50 to £60, $65 to $80 game to a consumer as a one-time purchase was continuing to, quote, become less ubiquitous, end quote. Ubisoft said the players are not opting to spend their time and money in other ways, such as subscription events, long-running games as a service titles, free-to-play games, and cloud streaming. In a nutshell, Ubisoft continued, quote, consumers are playing fewer games, end quote. And while some are one-off and full-price titles will continue to be successful, these have become, quote, a few notable exceptions to the wider trend. Here's my opinion on that. Well, in fact, let's go through.
It's such a funny irony that it's Ubisoft that says such a thing.
Isn't this? I have a conspiracy theory, but
Go on.
so my conspiracy theory is that they are saying this because they're saying this in the UK, right?
Yes.
They're saying this so the UK doesn't get any fucking ideas about considering the stop killing games thing, because I know we had the parliamentary debate where they were like, actually it's kind of fine, but like they can make a U-turn on that. So what Ubisoft's saying is like, so my conspiracy theory is Ubisoft saying, no, you don't need to worry about that. People are choosing live service games more than traditional games. You don't have to think about anything like that kind of thing. Also, this is the same like, if you peel away the sticker on the top of this, it's going to be like, oh wait, isn't this the same thing that EA said about single-player games? Like nobody wanting to play single-player games anymore? That's very strange. I mean, also, Ubisoft, it would sure be nice if you advertised your single-player games at all.
I mean, all I'm going to say, Shadow, is, I mean, look at this. This is the Game Awards. I mean, look at the throngs of live service games up for Game of the Year. It's throm full of them. Hang on, none of them are live service games.
Yeah,
except maybe Marvel Rivals.
There are lifesavers games, but they are restricted to just the category like best live service game and nowhere else.
Didn't Amazon's New World recently shut down? I thought that was a live service game. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. I thought they were doing really well, Ubisoft. Maybe that's a skill issue.
Yeah, here's the thing, which I think Ubisoft are mistaking, causation for causality. This is, or whatever the saying is, I can't remember what the saying is. But the point is that I think the problem is Ubisoft is you're not just charging people your 50, 60 quid for games. You're then saying, oh, but you want all the DLC, don't you? Well, then buy this. Oh, but all this doesn't come with that pack. So you're going to be, so instead of buying a gold edition, you're going to buy an ultra deluxe edition, which is now £156 or whatever it is. And it includes an art book, which you absolutely do care about, right? You care about art books, so we're going to throw that in. We'll throw that in for the goodness of our own hearts, and
I did actually care about the South of Midnight art book, but that was because the visual style of that game is absolutely peak, 100% peak. So
I'm not saying that no one cares about the art book, Shadow. What I'm saying is that generally gamers don't care about that. If they did, they would. They just want to get the content for the game.
Yeah, I think you care about the art book if you enjoy the game and you're like, hey, I would like to see more of this. Like what happened with me and South of Midnight. And also because South of Midnight's style is absolutely amazing. And I'm not sure Ubisoft knows what a style is except in Prince of Persia after they shat on that game. Yeah, I'm going to controversial opinion here. Ubisoft, maybe you should stop releasing games that fucking suck. People would, actually give a shit about you. And now I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Like, I'm not saying that Star Wars Outlaws was a sucky game. I will say though, it was advertised badly, so people came into that and with that, and they were like, wait, this is completely different from what I imagined. And then they perceived it as suck, and it sold badly because, and also Prince of Persia was a great game, but they advertised it badly. So I just think that Ubisoft is fucking incompetent.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Ubisoft is completely incompetent when it comes to advertising their game. Or they're like, well, we could release it on Steam, but we want to get all the money from all our sales, so we might as well release it on our own proprietary service, get no sales, and then release it in 12 months on Steam when no one fucking cares about it anymore. You know?
Yeah, and it's just.
And then every other game is also killed before it is fully released, or like
Yeah, I don't like.
in the middle of production.
Yeah, I don't like to say this is a horrible thing to say, but I really just fucking hope that Ubisoft goes bankrupt. I just genuinely want this company to fail because they are fucking incompetent
I mean,
right
they
now.
are slowly doing that because Ubisoft, for the last few years, every year they are releasing this state of company report, and each of them is like multiple pages of just blaming everyone but them. It's like blaming players for not buying live service games. The next year is blaming players for buying live service games. Then it's blaming players for, I know, wanting the games to not suck. Then they're constantly like blaming everyone and not improving at all.
I mean, Lord forbid you want our games in a good state when they come out.
Yeah,
What's the opposite of stonks? 'Cause that's the opposite. What they're doing.
Yeah, I don't like to say that because it's a horrible thing to say because there's a load of people who are going to lose their jobs and everything. But at some point, the CEOs need to be punished. And I just,
Yep.
and I can't say the thing that I would like to say, so I just hope you go bankrupt kind of thing. It's just, I think the only thing, I think the only thing worse is the Saudi government also moving in on Ubisoft. You know, it's just like,
Oh god, yeah, don't. Yeah,
Well, that's a good way of getting the entire rest of the world to stop behind their games.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the EA thing, and I'm just like, oh boy, oh shit.
I mean, I'm hopeful that things
Ruh-roh.
aren't going to change, but even then, I'm like, not sure. We'll see.
I'm personally just going to avoid EA games next year. It's just going to
Yeah.
be like,
I can't.
No,
I can't.
yeah, I know that, El, but like personally for me, I am going to be thinking twice about if the new Mass Effect comes out. I'm just like, how you know.
No, but my point
Like
is that
this isn't like don't
No,
get
no.
me wrong, this isn't me saying like you should stop buying
No, no,
games.
no, no.
It's just like me personally, I am gonna try not to
No,
kind of thing because
I-
personally it goes against my things. But whatever other people do is their own fucking business.
I
You know?
get that. My only problem is that this is just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And at that point, like, how many companies do we say, oh, we can't buy from them anymore until finally we're without any kind of games at all? But that's just, you know.
May I quote Gary Oldman
Go on.
in answering your question?
Go on.
Everyone! Sorry if that was too loud. I just wanted to be true to Gary Oldman's acting.
But yeah, it does
Well,
frustrate.
that's why I think it has to be a personal decision because at some point, you know, it's like it's how much that you can take.
Personally, I just want the Saudi government to not fuck things over. I want them to get the fuck out of my industry, quite frankly.
I mean, the thing is,
or grow a fucking moral compass and actually start not being less shit to gay people and women.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry if you're here and you disagree with that, but fuck you if you disagree with that.
I don't think a lot of people would disagree about you saying that the Saudi fucking monarchy is a piece of shit. I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, that's fair enough.
The uncomfortable situation is gonna be that Saudi actually, as owners of things, they do not interfere into things usually as a principle unless for the versions that are released in their country. They're like, in most cases, they're like, let the rotten West rot in their own things. We're gonna sort of censor the games that are released in the Arab world.
I think the reason. Yeah, sorry, Burr, continue.
However, the fact remains that a lot of the money is going to go to the Saudis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the problem is going to be the game might be good. The game might not be like under the influence of the Saudi overlords, but the money is still going to go to that regime, that government, that mentality. So you're still will have to consider whether what you want to do in this situation.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to have a spreadsheet of companies I refuse to buy from these days because there's so many.
Yeah,
I think it will be easier to. Sorry, Shadow. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the reason why it's become so crystallized around EA specifically is just because of The Sims and what The Sims represents to people, because it is very inclusive, it is very LGBTQ friendly kind of thing, and I think the because it isn't just the Saudi monarchy. One of the guys involved in buying this thing is one of Trump's offspring, kind of thing. And I think that is what's bothering people. Like, it's not just like being owned by the monarchy that, you know, kills gay people and thinks that women shouldn't drive, kind of thing. There's also like the offspring in there as well. And
Yeah,
it's just,
Here's
there's a fear of things changing. Maybe not from the Saudi government, but from the other side. But also there's that, because a lot of content creators, especially, who, I'm going to say advertise. I know that some are not specifically paid to do that, but some are. To advertise that kind of stuff, there's a dichotomy between like the very inclusive background around it and the company that's picking this up. So I think there's a lot of people saying, you know, to walk away from this because you can't. It feels hypocritical if you have this idea and those people together, kind of thing. And that's why I personally, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try and avoid EA games personally, because I don't agree with that. But I also understand that this is an increasingly difficult to do kind of thing. And my personal thing is not something that should be. I'm not putting it on other people, kind of thing.
no.
Like, I have some opinions about it, but you know what other people do is their own fucking business, kind of thing. It's just what I'm gonna do is I don't feel comfortable with EA being owned by the Saudi government and the offspring. So I'm gonna avoid buying stuff from EA. That is my thing.
Do you know what?
I'm sorry, but I quite like the band The Offspring. So can we call them something else?
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what?
I can't think of a more.
Can we call him the Spawn?
Spawn.
Yes, the Spawn.
The Spawn, yes.
Do you know?
I know, Gene Stealer.
That works, yeah.
I mean,
the Gene Stealer.
I mean, he's the son of a con man, so I'm not
The
surprised
successful sperm.
Anyway, do you know what kind of really fucking frustrates me when I think about it deeply? There's all these people.
The increasing monopolization of our video game companies under a small banner of shit people.
Well, there is that, but it's more like there's more like the zeitgeist and the feeling around it. All these people who are like, oh, we don't want the gays involved in making our video games. Oh, look, there's blue-haired people on the development team. How about you?
You told us to make our own video games,
okay,
and then we made our own video games, and you got mad about it.
How about you guys start getting on the other side and say, how about you guys keep your own fucking hands out of yourself? If you can't have one political party in the game development, you can't have the other one. Sorry. But that's not how. You can't just have one rule for. Oh wait, I forgot. That's how the Republican Party works, isn't it? One rule for one rule for another. Exactly how it works. But yeah,
you don't say.
Anyway, is there any other news anyone wants to tackle before we get on to the main topic?
I mean, other than the really quick one of the internet losing about 20% of itself for about 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yes.
Because like Cloudfire shut itself again, and a lot of sites went down.
And the entire power infrastructure of the planet breathed a sigh of relief for that 4 hours, because all of a sudden AI chatbots weren't choking it.
Yeah, that was very funny. It was just like, looks like you're going to have to learn to write your own emails.
Yeah, the Nordic devs have to figure out how to actually fire their own stuff.
Which would not mean anything because the email infrastructure was down too.
Mine was alright actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, ironically, like my work runs like separately to all that, so they were just like, what?
It was annoying.
My work is nowhere near advanced enough that
you're probably
it was quite.
Because you're probably stands on Azure. So it was
yeah,
fine.
probably.
But
yeah, it was
we're gonna see Microsoft infrastructure fall next
Oh
month.
God, no! No, there was one time actually
I
that,
hope-
that Microsoft Teams did shit itself at one point. And it was like, well, that was a fun
I'm personally
time.
hoping Microsoft infrastructure doesn't implode because they currently are restarting a nuclear power plant. So
Yes. Okay.
That's not.
No, there was. No, what was I going to say? It doesn't matter.
I don't know whether it's news, but the TGA announced the nominations.
I was
Oh
actually
yeah,
going to
you
get
can
into
nominate
that.
your games on Steam as well.
I was actually going to get into that for the topic, Burr, actually.
I thought we were doing the homogenization.
Well, yeah,
we can move it.
we're doing that, but I was going to go and cover some of the nominees and things as well.
Okay.
And I've had that prepared, ready. So let's go over it. So the nominees is what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen for everyone.
Oh,
So
bloody hell.
Yeah.
there we go. So bring up the screen. So I've already voted. You can go and vote right now for the Game Wars. So
Yeah.
you can, now
Yeah, it was really weird when I was trying to log in because I logged in. I tried to log in on a different account and it got real. I tried to log in on my Twitch account and it got mad at me, so I had to log in on my Twitter account, which I have never used since I left Twitter. It was like, oh yes, you're allowed on this one. I was like, what the fuck?
see it.
Also, yeah, this site was crashing constantly thanks to Cloudfire.
yeah, I got 3 entries in and then it kicked me out, and I've only just put my nominees in now.
It's a very weird year for me because I don't really like looking at Game of the Year anyway. Like none of these are games I've played. Like I played Hades 1, but I've not played Hades, and none of these I've played. So really, I just had to take a kind of like a dartboard approach.
Yeah, that was me too. I think I went for like Claire Obscura.
That's not to cast aspersions. That's not to cast aspersion on these games. Just I've just not had the time to play them. So
Yeah.
I have a completely opposite experience because I've played a lot of those games, mostly because a lot of those games are indie games, and I'm trying for a few years now. I've been trying to like steer as far away from big publisher games and into indie games. So I've been trying to play as many of those that have been published this year. Oh, you're muted, Al.
oh, sorry, Karamba.
Oh. I've been trying to play as many indie games as possible, so I've played quite a lot of those games that were nominated.
I bought one AAA game and it was shite, so that's how my 2025 went.
Yeah. Well, you have bought an indie game released in 2025, and you loved it.
Yes.
I mean,
Would I call Split Fiction an indie game? I think I would call it a double A now.
I was referring to South of Midnight. That might be a double A too, but
that is true. Yeah, Compulsion Games is technically an indie game. Thanks Microsoft for being a complete fucking asshole though, and nobody's gonna see this game though.
Yeah, quickly looking over it, the Game of the Year, we got Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, not surprised. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach was a bit of a humdinger.
Hey, Keely, can you get off Kojima's knob for like 5 minutes?
Like I've not played. Like, I've heard people enjoyed number 2, but I'm like, Game of the Year, really?
Yeah, no, I won't deny that Death Stranding is enjoyable for people, but it's just this just feels like knob slobbering to me.
There was a
does,
game that I really wanted to be there, and it should have replaced Death Stranding 2. And I mean Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yes.
Yeah,
which has been done a great disservice.
Oh,
because
yeah,
it came out
it
after
hit the
TGA
exact
last
wrong
year.
time, didn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle absolutely would have been my Game of the Year choice.
Wasn't it one of the nominees further down though?
It is,
Yes.
and we'll get
It
there.
is.
It's
And Troy
definitely a
Baker,
nominee.
and also Troy Baker is nominated.
Yes. Oh, that's why it's nominated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean,
surprised.
the game itself is nominated as an action game too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, not surprised. People quite enjoyed that from what I see. Hades 2.
Yeah, I remember Lewis like that.
Come on, Hades 2. You know,
Yeah, no brainer.
Yeah,
Understandable. Yeah.
Hades 2, as much as people love Hollow Knight, Hades 2 is my vote.
Silk Song, not surprised one bit. Kingdoms Come Deliverance 2.
It seems to me that more people enjoyed Hades too, honestly, and yeah.
But then it's still also very anticipated. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I can't really comment. That was actually doing interesting rounds in the zeitgeist.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's well reviewed from what I've heard.
it
Yes,
is now
I've heard good
a
things.
fully matured game in compared to Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, which is more like a proof of concept from Warhorse Studios. And it was still a great game. Sorry, it's my. I think you hear my washing machine in the background.
It sings to you. I will say. Sorry.
I can't say anything about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because one of the guys I work for, Deadly Slob, has a sponsored segment with them soon.
I will say, all I know about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, like the most thing, is there's a gay romance in it and there's a lot of fan art about it. And okay,
And
that's good for me.
And there's a lot of certain angry people that are angry about that.
Good.
Also,
This isn't a game for you anymore.
Also, it's an RPG game with not a single drop of fantasy in it, and people love it anyway.
Yeah. Best game direction for interesting creative vision, innovation, game direction design. Cloud Obscure Edition 33, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotai, Hades 3, Hades 2, and Split Fiction, which got my vote because innovative game design direction is what got it for me. I've not played the others, so I couldn't. I've seen sort of fiction being played, so that gave me at least some measure of concept to what to vote for. Although, to be honest, I probably, if I'd played it, it might have gone for Ghost of Yote. Don't know. I might not have thought Split Fiction. Yeah.
Yeah, I went for Claire Obscura on this one because even though I played Split Fiction with Burr, I don't think it was enough.
Okay.
To win Best Game Direction.
Yeah, I actually voted for Claire Obscura everywhere it was to vote, except for one place. In the best voice actor, I voted for Troy Baker because he was brilliant as Harrison Ford. Everywhere else, I voted for Expedition 33.
Best narrative. Now, again, I had no idea because I've tried to keep myself spoiler free from most of these games. The only plot I know is Silent Hill F. So I had to.
No, I voted. I have the only thing I've seen of Silent Hill F is what I've seen of the Scary Game Squad play it. So it is only a part of it. But I'm gonna skim the top of the surface of this. But the way the themes that Silent Hill F touches on, especially for women like myself, I can't completely relate because it is Japan in a certain period of time, but there are themes that are touched upon which I very much understand as a woman, and because of that, I really respect where it's going from, and I think that's why a lot of guys, certain subsection of guys, are really upset about it because it is very much like plumbing a depth that has not been explored, and I think they see women and are like, I don't understand kind of things. But I think a lot of people who take the time to understand it come away with an interesting understanding kind of thing, and I think. Yeah, so I also voted for Silent Hill F because I was like, I like what it's exploring, and I want to promote that in a way.
After my experience with Silent Hill 2, I really want to play Silent Hill F.
Yeah, I actually watched Steve of War play it, so that was quite a fun experience. But yeah, that's
my entire thoughts on this category is where the hell is the vote? Well, where's the nomination for Dispatch? The narrative game.
Yeah, that's a shame. I will say though, Burr, Silent Hill F is one of those ones where you have to play it multiple times to get all of the endings.
I mean, Silent Hill 2, you also have to play multiple times to get different endings. But I am absolutely happy to play it once, get an ending, and then see people get other endings, see people explain the game and explain the other endings.
Yeah.
That's fair. Best art direction, I went for Hades 2, personally.
Seconded.
I think I went for Silk Song. Because for all the complaints about Silk Song, it's a gorgeous fucking game. It's beautiful.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Again, I've got no point of reference other than what I've seen of Hades 2, and I've seen the most of that. So again, it literally for me was a shot in the dark. A lot of this was quite surprising, just how much of this year I've not engaged with like the big ones. And I've got a Silk Song, I'll definitely play it. Hades 2 is not really my thing. I enjoyed number 1, but I'm not really too enthralled by 3 or 2, and I've yet to grab Ghost of Yotai, so I can't really comment on the game I've not played yet, really. So,
like I said, I voted for
Tsushima and I have it installed.
What was that, Burr?
Sorry, Burr?
Like I said, it has Expedition 33, so I voted for that because that game really has amazing art direction.
Yeah.
Really gorgeous, really beautiful.
I mean, I will be playing that at some point soon, maybe off stream, maybe on stream. Because somebody lovely bought it to me for my birthday.
Aww. I will say, like, all of these have gorgeous art direction, and there's Death Stranding 2, and I'm like, huh? What are you doing here?
Yeah, that is unusual.
Art direction, it's just like 3D printed Norman Reedus. What's the art direction?
Yeah, look, I mean...
Yeah, it's like, huh? What are you doing here?
It has an art direction that is pretty interesting. However, it did get there because Kojima is Kilis Kamiyoshi.
Yeah.
That and just like, you know, it would kind of, the only thing that gets my vote on it in comparison to like art direction is Usada Pecora is a character in the game. That's it.
Best score on music, I actually went for Expedition 33, so I've heard some songs from that, so I actually went with that. But again, not really much experience, so it was mostly a shot.
Yeah, I have the soundtrack for Hades 2, so, and I've been listening to it a lot, so yeah, it gets my vote.
Shadow?
I think I might have gone for like Christopher Larkins, because I have heard, because like Silk Song's songs are also banging, but I just can't remember, honestly.
Huh?
Yeah, I've not heard any music from Ghost of Yotai or from Death Stranding 2, but the other 3 games have absolute bangers of the music. But I went for Expedition 33 mostly because that is like a complete revelation. They found a guy accidentally on some music forum.
Oh yeah, he's just a
And
random.
they were like, can you make random music for a random game? And he was like, yeah. And then he got on fire and started playing.
Yeah, he did the Phil Collins thing. It's like, hey Phil, we just need a nice little like.
Yeah, we don't need to go too hard on this.
That's fair.
We don't need to go too hard on this.
This is slightly
Just
similar.
What if I do anyway?
Best audio.
Up to 11 it is.
Best audio design, I voted for Silent Hill F. I think Yotai might have gotten it for me if I had more experience with Yotai. Because the Ghost of Tsushima itself had great audio design. But then, yeah.
I do not remember, but I think I might have voted for Silent Hill F, because listening to some playthroughs, there is some interesting like whispering in the back of things and stuff like that. But I literally just can't remember. Okay.
Moving along. Best performance. We have Ben Starr from Expedition 33, Charlie Cox from, again, same, Expedition 33, Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotai, Jennifer English from Expedition 33, I'm going to butcher this, Konaso Kato from Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker from Indiana Jones The Great Circle. There's no question who got my vote, and that was Troy Baker
I will say, everybody here did an amazing job.
Everyone did, yes.
But Troy Baker managed to do an absolutely perfect fucking like old indie like Harrison Ford. It's like, this is witchcraft. How the fuck did you do that?
I mean, it's Troy Baker. The dude is he is the vocal version of Gary Oldman. He can be anyone at any time.
Yes.
There was a temptation to vote Erika Ishii just to piss off certain people, but that's just me. That's the only thing that I was tempted to be spiteful. But no, I went with my gut.
Yeah, I gotta say, anybody can win that, and that would be amazing.
They're all good performers.
If Troy Baker doesn't win that, I hope Erika Ishii does.
Yes, yeah.
Although again, they all deserve to win.
They do all deserve to win. Absolutely.
I think she do good as well.
Innovation.
Let's just say there's no argument about any of their nominations.
Innovation in accessibility.
Oh, South of Midnight, without a fucking.
It's got my vote. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there are loads of like accessibility options in South of Midnight. That's really, really good. Just the ability to just fucking skip combat and boss fights if you're having trouble. Like.
Yeah. Like, I think all of these games have got some great accessibility. The fact that Doom Dark Ages abandons the Doom difficulty and will go for difficulty sliders is brilliant.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I was going to bring up. Is the difficulty sliders on the Dark Ages is like, oh, you can set it to enemies do next to no damage. You do massive amounts of damage. You have a massive or tiny health pool. You can cater the difficulty to whatever you want. And that's what it should have been the entire time.
Yeah, and same for Ghosts of Midnight. There's a lot that you can go in there. Like, especially since Shadow didn't realize that you could skip boss fights, as I pointed out to her. Yes.
Yeah, I went into the game and I had to lower the difficulty because the combat is serviceable, but after a while, getting stun locked at least 3 times, it's like I'm having enough of this, and I didn't realize I could just skip the combat. I just turned the difficulty down. I had a fair time.
There will be someone in the chat or in the comments somewhere eventually in the time frame of this video being online will say, "Why did you just get boss fights? What's the point in playing the fucking game?" My response is, "Well, I don't need to skip boss fights. You don't need to skip boss fights. So why are we arguing about it?" You know.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the thing is, I lowered the difficulty because I was in the part of the game I was not having fun at. The fun I was having was the platforming sections, the listening to the story. I wanted more of the story. That was what I was enjoying and looking for, like the little lore bits and bobs kind of thing. That's what I enjoyed. So I lowered the difficulty so I could get to the bits of the game that I enjoyed and not waste my time on the bits that I didn't like.
Yeah.
The great thing about being an adult and having choice is that you don't have to eat your greens if you don't want to. You should, but you don't.
Exactly. What are you, a baby?
Games for Impact, a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Consume Me, Despolote, Lost Records, Blue and Rage, which I've yet to play, but I want to play that. South of Midnight and Wonder Stop. Again, I couldn't really do much but throw a dart at the dartboard here. I went for South of Midnight because I've seen some content from it. So, but they all look fairly interesting.
I can definitely see. I don't know any of these either. I said maybe Wonder Stop. I played the demo of Wonder Stop. I can understand if Wonder Stop is a good one, but honestly, I had to go for South of Midnight because I've actually played that fucking game.
Next best ongoing.
I do like South of Midnight.
That's fair. Best ongoing: Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky.
There's no fucking contest. It's No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
It's No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
It's No Man's Sky.
I would say, like, I was torn between No Man's Sky and Helldivers 2 because the amount of updates and the amount of love that they have given that game over the last year is actually insane.
But is it more than No Man's Sky?
I mean, for No Man's Sky, they've went from an unplayable game to a brilliant game and then keep improving it. So what's there to say on that fact?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I think you just can't hold a candle to No Man's Sky. It's just
exactly when it comes to like improvements. Also, it's second to none.
I couldn't vote for Helldivers 2, 1 because I've never played this game, and 2 because there's too many people who consider the whole Super Earth as an instruction manual, not a satire.
Yeah, they're doing the 40k.
All the good ones see it as a satire, like me.
Yeah, they're doing the 40k thing where they think the Imperial Man is an actual thing that is a good idea and not a fucking satire. It's a satire, guys.
Or watching Starship Troopers not thinking, oh, wait, that is a satire.
Oh, wait, this is fascism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole point.
Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. And what a surprise, I voted for No Man's Sky because...
I think
for the same reason.
Yeah, I think I voted Baldur's Gate 3, actually.
I
think
could
they've
see
not been
that.
Too bad, actually.
Yeah, I could definitely see it between those two. Unfortunately, we all know that Fortnite's probably going to win that one.
Probably,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't see any
Helldivers 2
communication
could come
between
in swinging.
Fortnite and the players, really.
In the best independent game, we got Absalom, Balls X Pit, Blueprints, which I still need to play, Clubs X33, Hades 2, and Solid Silksong.
I think I voted for Blueprints because a lot of people really like that game, and I was like, you know what, you deserve a thingy.
Except for Ball XP, I played all of them, and they all deserve a vote. They all deserve to win.
Ball XP is very much like the game that I discussed that I was playing earlier. You know, the castle building roguelike. It's very much like that. You're just going down a path and shooting things automatically. But it looks fun. I haven't played it, but I've seen some people play it. It does look fun.
Yeah.
My vote, again, Hades 2, because Hades 2.
Yeah, I voted for Expedition 33 because Expedition 33. But I'm really looking forward to playing some more Absolem because there's a brilliant. That's the kind of only roguelike that I kind of vibe with because it's a side-scrolling hack and slash roguelike. Which is a brilliant idea, and I'm surprised that people came up with it just now.
I think I would like to play Blueprints, but I am unfortunately stupid. So...
I really want to play Blueprints. I'm surprised I've not picked up already.
When we're done with Escape Academy 1 and 2, we could play Blueprints together as a sort of
you will have to carry me through
three-headed
that,
beast.
Best debut indie game: Blueprints, Cloud, Obscure Expedition 83, Despolate, and Dispatch. Blueprints got my vote
Dispatch,
as well.
hands down.
I cannot play Dispatch, so I can't vote it.
I can't remember. I can't remember who I chose for that one.
If the Expedition 33 was not on the list, I would vote Dispatch.
I've only seen Blueprints being played, so that at least gave me some form of reference.
I give Dispatch my vote with contention, though, because I don't consider it to be a debut indie game.
I'm going to do something very...
Because everybody on that team is an industry veteran.
That's true.
Yeah, they all from TTG previously.
Yeah, they're all from Telltale. Well, not all of them, but they're mostly from Telltale Games. They are all industry veterans. They've done this before.
I'm going to do something very controversial now.
That's mobile game.
Moving on. Best VR now game. I just voted Deadpool because it looked fun.
Yeah, it's Deadpool. I didn't intend on buying that game.
I think for the mobile game, I went Persona because I think it was funny. Okay.
Yeah.
I voted Uma Musume because weeb.
Best action game. I actually voted for Shinobi Art of Vengeance because I've seen that. It looks really interesting, and I've played a little bit of. I've seen a little bit of it even played, and it looks really fun. So I actually voted for that because I have some experience with Shinobi. So yeah,
I voted for Hades because
yes. Yeah, I voted for Hades 2 because even though I don't really vibe with Hades 2 as much as I have vibed with Hades 1, I know that a lot of people really loved it, and this game has its merits.
Yeah, and also Indiana Jones is not here. So
speaking of best action adventure game, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yota, his song, Indiana Jones, Circle of Split Fiction. Indiana Jones. Hands down, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry for the Split Fiction.
I so want to play the DLC for that.
Split Fiction was fun, but if I were to play one of those two games again, it would have been Golden Circle.
Put it this way:
Great Circle.
The Great Circle was so fun. I'm tempted to replay it again when I get my new PC. So
there you go.
I would happily watch a stream of you playing that game again. Honestly.
Yeah.
Best RPG, we got Avowed, Expedition 33, Killing Killer Ranch 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Outer Worlds 2.
We struggled on this one.
I just voted Expedition 33 because I had no point of reference.
I might have done Expedition 33. I literally cannot remember.
I
remember Avowed came out and then nothing happened again.
Yeah. I know nothing about Avowed. The other 4 games are pretty good.
Avowed comes from Obsidian, and that was about the only thing that happened with it.
I only know the title.
Best fight. This is what I expect Bert's going to go in for. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 because I've actually played that, but it probably would have been the Legacy Collection if I actually owned the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection because
actually
I've heard bad things about that.
Really?
There's a lot of problems with the Legacy Collection.
Ooh, maybe not then.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the fuck is it even doing in this category?
There's a lot of there's just not many fighting games. There's a lot of problems with netcode, a lot of problems with bugs. It's not a great collection.
We call that winning by default.
I remember there being posts in Scarf's Discord, and it was like, "Whoo, baby!"
Oh, baby, that's a shame. Well,
it is a shame, and I'm really sad. But it is what it is. I voted for Capcom Fighting Collection.
Best family. I threw for Split Fiction a bone here. I was very tempted. I was very tempted to pick Mario Kart World, but I thought, nah. Especially with how
not giving Nintendo that. No, they're not allowed.
Especially with how Nintendo decided, no, you'll play it how we want you to play it. Absolutely not.
Yeah, like they're both
Exactly. With
absolutely not.
like that, and with it being a Nintendo, a Switch 2 exclusive, with how few people actually own a Switch 2 right now, no, can't give it to them. For me, it has to go with Racing Cross Worlds, because I'm a Sonic boy always.
I
And
probably
it does look fun. I have played a bit.
if I'd played one of the Lego games, it might have been one of those for me. 'Cause I think Voyages looks quite interesting. But yeah.
Controversial choice, but I voted Bonanza.
Hey, well, not
Because
controversial.
I-
Yeah.
Understandable, yeah.
Sorry, Split Fiction, but it is a fun game, but I've seen Lewis play Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I think that's much more of a family game.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Best
Yeah.
sim strategy game. I had to do Tempest Rising.
Well, I couldn't fucking
Yeah.
vote for Civ 7 because it was fucking.
Yeah, it was.
Punch.
It sucked.
Yeah, so I actually
Yeah.
voted for Jurassic World Evolution 3, even though I've not played it. But I have seen a lot of positive press for it. So people seem to really enjoy it. So good for them. So I thought, okay, you guys get it then.
I had to give it to Tempest Rising as well. Got to vote for the actual like classic Command and Conquer inspired strategy game.
I, on a similar principle as Shadow, voted for Altus. Never played it. I played a bit of a demo, but that game has a very interesting premise. I want to play it one day, and it's a Polish game, so I need to support mine.
Well, fair enough.
Understandable? Yeah.
Best sports racing. Do we even need to do this?
Yeah.
I think I went with Crossworlds, honestly.
I went with
I'm
Crossworlds,
not giving Nintendo anything. They
Yeah.
can fuck themselves.
I'm not giving EA anything, and I'm not giving football anything. I'm going with Sonic on this one.
Best multiplayer Split Fiction for me.
Yeah, I went with Split
I think-
Fiction because
no,
I played it.
I-
I might have chosen Peak. I know I didn't choose Peak.
I voted Peak.
Split Fiction.
After how I've seen Mist and Jesse and some other friends and Dicimp play Peak, I voted Peak.
Fair enough.
It's a Peak multiplayer.
I was
Very
waiting
true,
for you to
yeah.
make that joke. Best adaptation. I think I can speak for this because I've seen most of these.
Oh, good.
I think
Except-
I actually chose. I think I chose a Splinter Cell as well. I thought you deserve that, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, the Minecraft movie is gone.
I think that's the only category that I've not voted for because I don't know any of those.
So I've seen the Minecraft movie. It's all right. It's not brilliant. Last Season 2 is very, very good. Until Dawn, I've not seen that, so that's the one thing I can't comment. Devil May Cry is fun, but Splinter Cell Deathwatch I really enjoyed very, very much. I binged that. So
Where can I watch it?
Netflix.
Shit.
I'll be honest. I didn't even know there wasn't Until Dawn out.
What did I?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is one movie about Until Dawn already. It is called Scary Game Squad. That's Until Dawn. And it's
I mean,
enough for
I mean,
All right, I've got a bone to pick with this category. Most anticipated game. I have a bone to pick with this category. Can anyone guess what my bone
Oh,
to
Why are
pick
we
is?
awarding you?
Oh, was it because
why
you
are we
were
awarding
forced
for
to
games that aren't
choose?
out yet?
No, actually, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was forced to choose. It is Dollars Done First Look, and then it would be Marvel's Wolverine. My bone to pick is what's in slot number 2 right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
That won it
yeah,
last
that's
year.
gonna run it.
That won it. No, that's not my point. Is that clearly it's going to win it, but also my point is
Yeah.
you got that award last year, and you're only in this because you delayed it. In my opinion, you should be disqualified from this category.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you delayed your game after laying off people
Very good
enough
point, yeah.
that look like union busting. So now you've upset everybody in the UK. Like, cool beans, you are a piece of shit.
Yeah, it really does feel like, you won this award last year. You've already had that award. You only are here because you delayed it, which is good on you for delaying it, but you shouldn't be rewarded for the fact that you're fucking late. No, it's like, no. Let's
At the end of the day, it's Grand Theft Auto.
No.
It's going to win everything ever. But it
exactly.
Really
It's going to win based upon its name alone. So
I did have my narrowed eyes at Rockstar already at Red Dead Redemption 2 when they were saying, like, we make our developers work 100 hours a week. And someone was, hey, psst, this is not a flex you think it is. It isn't.
no, it isn't.
Yeah, and also considering you've been accused of union busting, I think we need to be very.
I literally just rolled dices on these ones. Content
Oh,
creators.
I chose Moist Critical because I know
Peanut!
who he is, and I don't think he's that bad.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm
I
gonna rep my
voted
boy
for the-
Peanut. Peanut's the guy.
I voted for the VTuber because Lemming.
Oh, you voted Miko.
Best
Yeah.
esports
I'm
game.
sorry, I'm pathologically allergic to VTubers.
I also
Well,
rolled.
keep in mind that my vote was split between two VTubers. Sakura Miko, who was a HoloLive talent, very, very good gamer, very entertaining, and Peanut the guy. He plays extraction shooters, so he's played a lot of Escape from Tarkov. He is very funny.
Again, roll the dice on best esports. Roll up League
I
of
went
Legends.
Valorant because I'm not giving League of Legends anything.
Oh, fair enough.
I
Counter-Strike 2 because
I voted completely on vibes, so I voted Mobile Legends. Bang bang.
Yeah, literally same thing here. Literally, roll the
Yeah,
dice one. Okay, yes.
I was just like,
And by the way, there's just no slight off you guys, whatever. If you're on this,
yeah,
I
it's
just
like,
couldn't.
we've no way.
I just
we're
couldn't give a
old,
fuck.
Yeah, it's just like we're old. We don't know what any of this
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, don't care. Players' voice. Now, this, of course, is where you get to vote. That'll open on December 1st for the first round of voting for the nominees. Let's be real, it's just a popularity contest, but it is what it is. And those are basically the nominations.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is just a popularity contest anyway.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Well, it's a public contest for that specific award. At least when there's a committee involved, they kind of have to argue, deliberate, and come up with like, okay, here it is, and then it becomes between a select choice, but from that committee. So yeah, it's a at least there's more defined rules for that one. Whereas this last one is literally just a popularity contest. So yeah,
It's just free for all.
yeah.
But I really enjoyed the trend that is happening, which is what literally Sven Winke said in the inauguration speech last year, when he said like the more games you're gonna see nominated for Game of the Year are gonna be games that the developers were not making it for money; they were making it because they wanted to play a particular game. They made that out of love, and they made it out of excitement and interest in the subject, and not for the quarterly figures.
I think you're wrong, but I don't think any developer makes it just for the money. The publishers publish it for the money. The developers do make it for their love of games. But I get you what you're saying. I'm trying to say. I just disagree conceptually with some of what you're saying, not all of what you're saying.
I don't know. I feel I from what I can see, there's a lot of people.
I'm not gonna sit here and hear you say developers don't care about the games that they're making. That just does not.
Okay. Tell me that Arcane cared for Redfall. Please tell me that they cared for Redfall.
They clearly thought what they were doing, but they were.
They were trying to make a good game out of it, but if they were given free rein, they would do anything but Redfall.
No, I think no. I think even in games that they don't like to make, there is a little bit of passion within there to make at least something worthwhile.
Yes, but that's more like a need to salvage to make it a good game, despite the fact that this is not the game they want to make.
Yeah, but that's still something. That's still something. And I would rather that than whatever fucking shit that AI churns out.
And also, Redfall is, I wouldn't say it's a big exception to the rule. I've seen more games being made because they pitch them and that they're then accepted, that I have games being like, oh, we are mandating you as a corporation to make this. That tends to be what Call of Duty and such does. I'm not disagreeing with you, Bert.
Which sucks.
I do agree with you the fact that we are seeing games that have been made with passion, but I don't think that is necessarily just because they're indie studios that they get to do that. There are still some studios or developers out there that do have a soul within their thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've played some shit games, but there's been like little glimpses of like the developer has given a shit in some regards, like little tiny glimpses of something. So there are people in there that even if they don't like what they've been given, they want to like give it at least a good go. kind of thing. I get what you're saying, but like it's you can't just tar all of the games that they don't like they have to be commissioned to make as like they don't give a shit about this. Like
I am not tarring them all with that. What I'm saying is in cases of when you are being like given the task or you are being controlled from above by a publisher that is owning your studio, you will be given games that you don't really want to work on, or the games that you pitched and worked on, they will suddenly cancel or say, no, we don't like your idea, we want this to be more live servicey or something.
yeah, of course, but
I'm saying that people who make games like indie or AA or any kind of company that is not owned by a big publisher, they usually make games they want to make and not trying to make good games despite what they're getting. Because in many cases, games would be made when you are owned by a big company. The games you make will be made good or passable despite the fact that you are not in love with this game.
yeah, but isn't that because the devs want to do well despite being assigned the game?
Yes, and this is why I did not say that those games are made by people who hate them.
Yeah, but you don't have to hate. You don't have to hate a game to be like, I don't really want to work on this anymore, but I'm still going to do the best I can. Like, do you think Ilphonic enjoyed working? Like, Ilphonic was given the Rise of Lyric games, and yet they went on to make Dead by Daylight and then the Ghostbusters kind of thing. Even if they just didn't like doing Lyric, they did their fucking best. There was some like love put into it. Even by
I agree. This is why I did not make a comparison of making a game you hate versus making a game you love, but making a game you love versus making a game you don't love.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but the way it came out was the way it came out initially was just like, well, the gay like devs just hate these like shitty games and they will always be bad, and it's like, well, no, there's some. I think we're like way off the point here.
Maybe I made myself not clear. Maybe you misinterpreted me. Maybe I misinterpreted me. What I meant is people making games they love. Well, hopefully, like this year is showing, will be more prominent in making really good games than people who make the games they were told to make and not necessarily love them.
Oh, that we can agree on. Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I think maybe we got our wires crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. Games mandated by a corporation to say make this.
They're never going to have the same passion threshold as something you make, from love from the beginning, kind of thing.
I can think of a few exceptions, but yeah. Point is also, damn, Ilphonic made Sonic Boom Rise Lyrics. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that was their initial game, and then they also got they first got commissioned. They got commissioned to make I think something from Star Citizen. Then they made Rise of Lyric, and then stuff happened, and then they made Dead by Daylight, and then they made Spirits Unleashed. Yeah, that's why I use Ilphonic as one of the things. Like, you never should write off a dev company just because they made some shit games. Like, you just got to give them the right kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Seems it.
We've got about half an hour to tackle the topic. Do we want to actually tackle that, or do we want to leave that for next time? Do we think it was half an hour's enough time to kind of cover it?
We can tackle it. There's also we can quickly hit on a second award show that's happening as well, if anyone wants to. The Stream Awards are happening.
Oh God, no,
absolutely not. No, please don't.
On this. If I have to hear anything about the fucking Stream Awards, I will put a lightsaber into my mouth.
I will jump out my window if I have to talk about the Stream Awards.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
dear.
no. I've already seen what's been happening behind the scenes in Dramaland. No, 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 no,
Fair
no,
enough. Fair enough.
no.
On with the topic.
Yeah. No, I touch too much grass for this. I'm too employed.
Too employed?
That's a
No,
new
I
one.
mean that's unfair, but like
You just confused me with that statement. So I'm like, what is it?
I live in the. What I really mean is I'm not like terminally online, except I am also terminally online. So
We're all terminally online,
Oh.
What
channel.
are we
Yeah,
talking about? Yes. We are all
Yeah.
terminally online. There's no.
I mean,
So,
we can make a stab at the topic. Come on, let's go.
Mm.
Let's go. Half an hour. Half an
I'm,
hour.
I'm trying to find out how to spell the damn thing because I can never spell it correctly.
HOMOGENISATION.
Perfect.
Just as I spell it.
HAILSATAN. Sorry. That slipped out.
Yes.
I don't know
Hail
why,
satanization.
I don't know why, but I really struggle to spell something out loud. Like I could do it in my head, I just can't do it out loud.
Hello, Jackie. Yeah. So the topic for today's podcast is the. I'm going to butcher because I always butcher this word. I speak English, but I always butcher homogenization of video
Yes.
games.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a topic that we wanted to cover last time, but didn't get a chance to get around to it. And that is, the example that I'm going to give is that games today are, because they're kind of quote unquote solved, as it were, in terms of what genres are on, how to do those genres and such. There's little experimentation, but also things that were once genres are now features. The example that I tend to use is how there used to be video games where the whole point of the video game was stealth, whereas these days stealth is not a gameplay focus, it is a feature of gameplay that amongst many other aspects of gameplay.
True.
Yes.
So and I kind of feel like that is I think it's hyperbole to say it's damaging to the industry, but it's definitely limiting to the industry, I feel like.
Yeah, well, I do think you cannot. I think back in the olden days, you could hang an entire game on the stealth aspect kind of thing. But I think these days, maybe it's because the exploration of the genre, maybe it's because of technological advances. I don't think you'll be able to. You possibly could hang. I mean, Hitman does pretty well, so maybe you could hang your hat on a stealth game, but you'd have to be really, really good at what you're doing, and you've also got to like walk into that dangerous area, or like Splinter Cell used to, of like, how do you measure how hidden you are, kind of thing, and in the darkness kind of thing. And I think because I think it's quite a niche genre as well. So you can't. It's very difficult to hang your hat completely on a pure stealth game. Like people have tried, but there's always been like, because I'm pretty sure like Stealth Bastards was one of them which tried, but that was a 2D. That was a more 2D game. I think it's more, you could really struggle these days to just have it as a single thing. Not that it couldn't be done, but I think that the era of a stealth only genre is past.
I don't know. I feel like that genre could be revived, just like sort of hardcore RPG games were able to be revived in a way. There was a short stint where everyone wanted to have Pillars of Eternity, and everyone wanted to have Baldur's Gate, and everyone wanted to have whatever it was, Tides of Numenera, etc.
I think personally we're still in the Baldur's Gate 3 churn. I think those games that have started because of Baldur's Gate are still in the machine at the moment. I think we'll see them next year.
Yeah, that's true, but that's I meant the more classic, the very much like the Neverwinter Night, Icewind Dale style games, just like the Pillars of Eternity were.
Yeah,
or Tyranny.
Jackie,
yeah, Divinity as well.
Jaggy mentioned chat. Remember back in 2003, the Angel of Darkness Tomb Raider came out. Tomb Raider 6 came out and ruined the franchise. It's funny. I've actually recently watched a documentary about all that, and there was a lot more problems than just the because that game introduced stealth as an element into Lara's arsenal. Well, there was stealth in Tomb Raider 4 and 5, but it was like really rudimentary of like the enemies shouldn't look at you, which is like very rudimentary. Like how you gonna do it? And there's like no stealth, no things to help you and to be stealth mechanically in that game. So when they actually introduced actual stealth mechanics in the Tomb Raider game, it didn't really work.
Also, are you saying Angelina Jolie was not able to save that movie?
No, she wasn't.
No, that was sarcasm.
Not even Chris Barry could save that movie.
Yeah. No one could save those movies.
You guys were watching a movie? I was too busy looking at other assets.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I say that and I haven't even seen it.
I would love to go deep into the Tomb Raider conversation at some point, Jackie, because that is that was like they made 6 games in 6 years. You know,
you're not supposed to do that.
They were burnt the fuck out. Like they were burnt out after 3, and that's why they killed her in 4. And then
it's like
it's
like when someone is when someone is dead and you press on their stomach and they fart. That was Angel of Darkness.
Yeah. It's not like this is the game that ruined it. I think you mean the never-ending crunch ruined it.
No. Well, there's multiple factors. Like the fact is, the developers were tired, were worked to the bone. They didn't want to do any more Lara Croft. They were forced to do it by the parent company because Lara was printing mega bucks at that point. But then they made the transition. There was all sorts of development problems in the make of Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. It was unfinished. They kept on changing aspects. They wanted to do too much with it. They had the movie going on as well. It was a microcosm of like everything going wrong. It's funny bring that up. Yes, it's a perfect example of how you kill a franchise in 6 years from overexposure.
You milk that cow until nothing but blood comes out, and then even the blood stops spurting.
Yeah. It's such a shame because it did kill the Tomb Raider franchise for a long time. And even then, it's caused a microcosm within there. But yeah, there were stealth mechanics in that, and. But you want to bring up horror games in the context of homogenization, didn't you?
Me.
Oh, were you? It were you. My apologies.
Yeah. Well, Burr might also have something to say about it, but for me, I think I can't say it's like a homogenization of horror games as a general, but it is something I have noticed, and I think a lot of people like you wouldn't peg me for a horror fan, but I am on the kind of periphery, just going, "Oh, that looks neat," kind of thing. Because I'm more of a because I like my horror to be more suspense based kind of thing.
I'm
like
right there with
I
you.
really dig like analog horror, just like that creepy factor that comes in. I'm less a jump scare kind of person, but I'm gonna pull out my case study of Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, because we might have to say this, like whatever the fuck Scott Cawthorne's got going on with his politics, I don't give a shit about. We're not talking about that. Like whoever he, like I think he's really stupid for who he's donating to, but no. Okay. Anyway, so Five Nights at Freddy's started out as a pure horror game, like I won't say like super scary, but it is enough. It is that even though it's made of jump scares, it's the suspense, it's the sound of things creeping closer, and you're having to manage everything. You don't have a weapon, like you have to make sure you have enough power to last through the night, and you can hear them creeping and laughing in the corners, like. And then sometimes the light goes out, and then you're fucked, kind of thing. And that was really cool. And of course, there's the story about the dead kids getting stuffed. Like there's a guy going around killing children and stuffing their bodies into the animatronics, and that's what's caused the animatronics to be haunted. And now they want to stuff you into the animatronic. And it started off okay. And then we have the second one where we continue the horror kind of thing and stuff like that. And the third where it's we get a bit more metaphysical about it. There's ghosts and stuff, but you know we're still kind of haunted. the William Afton gets in the spring trap and is like, "Ah, ghost, you can't get me, ma," and then he dies from the spring locks. And I think that's the really cool haunted thing about it is a guy rotting inside of an animatronic that's trying to kill you all the time. That is one of the coolest, spookiest fucking villains ever. Like he was
Horror.
like that. It's so cool. And then what happened? And then we had the fourth game, which. Okay, so the fourth game is where it starts to go. The fourth game is the last one where it's actually spooky. And even then, it's kind of like listening for the animatronics at the doors. That is very spooky. And if you play the game wrong, you get a jump. The designs of the animatronics themselves are a little over the top, but it's kind of explained as like you are in the mind of a child. So that's what they see, kind of thing.
Ah.
And then we get to. Was there a fifth game? Or was that Sister Location? I think there was Sister Location. Okay, so then we crossed from spoopy to sci-fi. Now, some people enjoy the sci-fi, and that's fine. I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum, kind of thing. But the problem is, once you reach a certain point, it stops being overall scary. Yes, you still get jumped by the animatronics. There's still child death in there somewhere. But it stops becoming about the horror of child murder. I can't believe I'm saying these things. But it becomes more a case of there is a bad thing happening to children and
Well, there goes my
stuff.
demonetization. If I got monetized, that is. But sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very much about William Afton is evil. There's also some stuff called Remnant, which is made out of souls, agony, and molten metal, and that's how you get souls to possess animatronics because you rub it on the metal or something, and there's children being stolen. And long story made incredibly fucking short, it sucked the horror out of Five Nights at Freddy's. A lot of the time, it became like ooga booga, like thing coming at you, mam, kind of thing. You don't want to be eaten by the animatronic, woo, kind of thing. And a lot of the designs were made a lot more like friendly. I mean, you have the whole thing with security breach, and like one of the animatronics that used to kill you is now your friend and your giant mecha suit, kind of thing. So like,
you do know why that is, though, don't you?
I know why that is, and I'm just coming to that. It's because children got involved with it. And instead of committing to the bit and saying, yeah, we're still being a horror game, kids should not. Like, I know what kids are like. I know what kids and teenagers were like because I was once one. And they do get attracted to horror, like, they do get attracted to horror franchises and ones with a lot of death and upset and horrible other things. Because, like, they're growing into themselves, they're exploring these new fascinations kind of thing. And, like, the really edgy thing that a teenager likes is, oh, yeah, death, killing, kind of thing. It's not because that they're, like, turning into a serial killer or anything. That's just what kids do. They're like that.
It's exploring taboos. Like, to murder is a taboo, so
yeah, I mean,
they try and find things that involve it.
Yeah, cops and robbers on the playground and people shooting each other dead. That, you know, we used to play war on the playground. That's just how it is, kind of thing. But I think the problem was as soon as like the advertisers saw that there was a lot of children getting involved, the horror veneer started to come off, and it moved more and more into like the leaned more into the sci-fi thing, and it smoothed the rough edges off, and it's still a horror game in that you get spooked sometimes, like something jumps out to you and goes boo, kind of thing. And sometimes it's a bit dark and you get chased around a bit. But the deep existential horror of like there's a child murderer rotting in a springlock suit. He cannot die, and he's just wandering around trying to kill more people. The innate horror of that, and the innate horror of like a child, like, you know, somebody dying inside of an animatronic, you know, and rotting to death in there.
Grim way,
like,
yeah,
like the innate horror of that has just been gone. It's just fucking gone. It's just been replaced by that. And I think to extrapolate more back, I think that's what happened with a lot of horror games. because if you notice, a lot of horror games start out quite scary, actually. Like the first kind of Silent Hills are very psychological based, kind of like really preying on the like you could dig into a lot of the Silent Hills and being like, "Oh, that's very interesting because this represent this that and the other." And like maybe Resident Evil, I don't know if Resident Evil was scary on its first iteration, but a
No,
load
it
of
was it
It
was
was.
scary.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
a
was
load of
this kind of, horror of the unknown, very much like the game it copied itself from Alone in the Dark.
Alone in the
It
Dark. Yeah,
is this the horror of the unknown, of not understanding what is going on and why.
yeah. Also, Amnesia: The Dark Descent was
Yeah.
extremely horrifying when it first came out. I remember getting spooked by that game, something fierce. I actually had nightmares from the second watching Markiplier play the second Five Nights at Freddy's because like the things that go boo out of the
Also,
darkness kind of thing. And
thank you. I would like to say a public thank you to Markiplier for making it so that people like me who don't like playing
Yeah,
horror
exactly.
games
You
can
are doing
experience
a
them
perfect
without.
service, my man.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You.
I'm
But
looking forward to your movie adaptation of Iron Lung. It's
Oh my god, I cannot wait for that. Holy shit. But yeah, so you notice that a lot of horror games start off quite scary, and then the second game will be, sometimes it will carry that on, but there might be some other things. But if a franchise gets picked up, like with Dead Space, well, with Dead Space it was forced into that position rather than taken there, kind of thing. You notice that this horror starts getting filed off and it starts being replaced with more action, more other things going on, and then you move the horror out of the horror game and into like an action game, and then people realize that it doesn't really, then the people who came into it to begin with are like, well, shit, this isn't my horror, this is not my horror game anymore, where the fuck am I, kind of thing. And but the thing is, people who come in for the more actiony stuff are left wanting because it didn't start as an action game, so the devs don't really know how to, properly implement it, kind of thing, until they get to like maybe a midpoint. But by that point, they've either lost their audience or like they've been kicked down a hole, as in with what happened with Visceral.
Yeah, if I may join in, I think this is in general with very very like typical with homogenization of games. It's when the game is starting to fall prey to its own success and B capitalism.
Yeah, because you hit that point where the thing that made it popular
It's not enough.
is pushing against the executive kind of thing of like, well, we need to make this marketable for a lot more people. It's like, well,
we
hang
need,
on a minute.
we
If
need a
we
lot
do
more
that,
people to
we
buy the
lose
game.
what we had
Yeah.
before, and it's this constant push and pull.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
And
the
this is
suits tend to win.
And this is what happened to Five Nights at Freddy, and this is what happened to Silent Hill, and this is what happened to Resident Evil.
In fact, I was gonna say Resident Evil is a prime example, I think, of it as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a hot take.
Yeah,
and say that in Resident Evil it started with 4.
Well, yeah, I agree. Let's get there. Shadow.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think you notice this more in like horror games, because horror by itself is a niche medium kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you notice extremely quickly when horror games get popularized, because the first thing that goes is the horror.
Yes.
I mean,
but go on, Burr.
So just wanted to say, I would say most of things that it happened to were niche media, because horror is a niche medium, is a niche brand of games, but so is stealth games,
Yeah, I know, but you see
are like RPG games, pen and paper RPG games.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, because horror by itself is a niche medium, when games explore that and then get popular, you see it most obviously happen there, kind of thing. Because with the others, that there's enough like friction that sometimes they can survive, but with horror games, they quickly live or die.
I mean,
Like,
you are right.
I'll get back to stealth games, but when it comes to like Resident Evil, absolutely correct there. The first Resident Evil was survival horror. The second was survival horror. You've seen me play Resident Evil remake 2 and 3, haven't you, Shadow?
Not me.
Okay. Well, Resident Evil, they are.
I've seen them played. But...
Yeah, they are very survival horror. 3 gets much more actiony, although it still is survival horror, and it is still very much within the zeitgeist. When 4 came around, 4 is when it became very much heavily action based, and very much. Go on.
Was that after Resident Evil 0? Because 0 was 0. I think 0 was survival horror as well. But I think that was confined to the GameCube, so nobody knows about 0.
I've played 0. One of the only Resident Evil games I have played, but I have played 0.
Not sure, because you gotta remember that there was a point when then Resident Evil decided to go back to its roots. So Resident Evil 4 was January 2005, 0 was 2002. So 4 was indeed after Resident Evil 0, so you're correct.
I just wanted to say that I realized one thing.
Go on.
Resident Evil is doing the same road for second or a third time now.
Yes, it is.
It started as survival horror, and it was doing well. Then people wanted some more action, so it started being actiony. Then they returned to survival horror, and then it got actiony with 5 and 6 again. They returned to survival horror again with Resident Evil 7. And they started getting popular again, and they released Resident Evil 8, which was very actiony again.
Oh, Resident Evil 0 is on Steam?
Yeah.
Is it?
But Burr's absolutely right. With Leon in Resident Evil 4, it was very much an action game. And I've yet to play the remake, where they've done a little bit more, shoving a bit more into survival horror, but not too much. And then, but the thing is, that game then picked up, because people will say, oh, Resident Evil 4 was amazing, because then you had people who were fans of action Resident Evil, and then fans who were fans of the survival horror Resident Evil, and they got the survival. So fans were like, "Wait, what's happened?" Wait a minute,
where did you guys come from?
Resident Evil 5 is all action. Resident Evil 6 is actiony.
Yeah. Resident Evil 5, Chris Redfield punches
a boulder. And then of course
Resident Evil 6, which is where Miracle of Sound got wiggle sticks from.
Actually, 6 is not too bad. People give it more rap than it is. 6 tried to be everything, because 6 actually does have different campaigns where one is action, one is survival horror. It tried to do it both, and it failed miserably. That's the problem.
It did its best.
You hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. That's
Resident
Evil 6.
But then you get Resident Evil 7, and they're like, okay, we're returning to survival horror, and that really was a return to survival horror. And that was very successful.
I love how they named it as well.
What?
Resident Evil 7. They named it Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And in Japan, it was Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
Yeah, they united the names.
Which is good.
They finally brought the names together, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, because in Japan, the series is called Biohazard. But Resident Evil 8, I think, is still very survival horror, because I've played it. That is survival horror. But it is definitely, as Burr says, more actiony than 7. Definitely more actiony than 7. And I'm very curious the route which 9 is going to go down. We'll see.
Requiem.
Yeah. It will be very interesting to see, because now we kind of see that there is room for both.
Yes.
We can have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish first.
We can have within the same franchise. We can have releases that would be much more survival horror, maybe even a touch of psychological horror, like if you take a feather of Silent Hill's cap, and you can have Resident Evils that are much more actiony and suffer like G did and all that.
Yeah.
My only question about Resident Evil 9 is going to be how much of the horny are they going to be infected by after the popularity of Lady Dimitrescu?
We'll have to see. I will say, I think, is Resident Evil the only horror game that has managed to balance both its horror aspect and its action aspect together?
Not without some missteps.
Not without some missteps, but I think it's one of the only horror games that's managed to get maybe not a happy medium, but a medium.
It's starting to find out where that balance is, which is really good. And if it's like what I really liked about 7 as well is that you had 7 be survival horror, but the Chris Redfield DLC was absolutely an action DLC.
Oh yeah, it was a shooter. It was a full-on just like blast everything.
But I am now very interested in whether Silent Hill is gonna have a similar resurrection as Resident Evil had, because Bluer team did amazing job with Silent Hill 2. So amazing, in fact, that Konami decided to give them a chance to also make a remake of Silent Hill 1 that they're working on
Which,
right
for context,
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
yeah.
Konami don't make video games anymore, so the fact that he said,
No.
we'll give you money to
Yeah.
make a video game was quite impressive.
Yeah, and also like Bloober Team has people have opinions about some of Bloober Team's games. So, and I think a lot of people were very worried about how the Silent Hill 2 remake was going to come out. But I have heard nothing but either nothing at all, which is good, or good things from it, which is also very good. So it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, we like that because it's like, okay, okay, internet, how was the Silent Hill 2 remake? And then it's just been nothing, and they're just occasionally,
Yeah.
it's been quite good. It's been quite good. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's good news because if it had been bad, I think everybody would have known. But the fact that I
Yes.
heard
Yeah,
nothing,
everybody would have known. Yeah, but
Yeah.
also there is Silent Hill F now, which is also a step in an interesting direction.
Oh my god, I really
And people
like
have
what
nothing
Silent
but
Hill
good
F
things to say.
represents. Yeah, I really like that. I think if they can push more into that section, I think Silent Hill's off to the races. Really.
I agree. Going into that kind of very deep psychological horror, because that's I think what Silent Hill is best. Even though I think it's funny because Silent Hill F is another Artifact title situation as well, where because for those who don't know, Silent Hill is based upon the town Silent Hill, but Silent Hill F literally doesn't have anything to do with the town Silent Hill at all. It literally is
No.
it's just set within the series. I think the close thing is like it's a spiritual kind of like this is about psychological horror, and so I think that makes sense. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Getting quickly about back to stealth. I do agree with Shadow. If you look at the Splinter Cell games, they do have like this thing where like you have like a meter which determines how shadowed you are and how silent you are. Then when you get to Conviction, which is where the big change happened. This is where I think everyone says this is where the game became definitely a victim for its own success. Because bear in mind they've had 4 great games at this point. Conviction came out. It's 2010, so it's in the era where games are really starting to explode. That kind of prime era.
And turning brown.
And what they did is they decided, okay, instead of having like a thing where you might be in shadow and there's a stealth meter, you got to check a meter. Quite simple. You go into shadows, screen turns black and white, you're in shadow.
And I understand why they did that, but I think it did take some of the complexity out of it.
There's good and bad points. In fact, I was tempted to actually do Splinter Cell Conviction at some point in the future to kind of show the difference between it, because one thing you may have noticed when I was playing Splinter Cell games for Game Blast, Splinter Cell games, very slow, methodical. They're very your very calculated movements of what you're doing.
Tactical.
Very tactical. Whereas Conviction is all about you're going quick. You're like fast. You're like in and out. It's a big change. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because, of course, people naturally want something to be faster, more intense. Generally, it's how people want things. I just think that it didn't go to the series' benefit. Blacklist was a great try and compromise back between the two kind of areas, but apparently didn't sell very well. So yeah, what can you do?
And then what's the last thing Sam Fisher has been in?
Ghost Recon.
Super Smash Brothers.
No, I think I do think he was in a fighting game though.
Soul Calibur.
He was one of the most
Soul
recent
Calibur,
characters
that
added
other
to
one.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
No.
He's
A
now
multiplayer first-person shooter.
He's now a character in a multiplayer first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think that there is I personally think that the release of Metal Gear Solid Delta and the way that game is been updated shows there is a valid market for for stealth action games.
I think if you got the right kind of team, you could make a game that would work. However, you could not it would be niche. It would have to be an indie title. It would
Yeah.
not. It would not sell gangbusters because
Yeah.
because we've moved a long way from where stealth games used to be. Like a lot of people are not going to enjoy that slow, methodical. Like a casual player is not going to enjoy that slow, methodical gameplay.
No, a game like
style.
Tenchu Stealth Assassins couldn't be released today because there's not enough action in it.
Yeah, but there are always people who are willing to try, willing to put the effort in, kind of thing. But it also will run up against the problem that Yooka-Laylee first had, was if you make a game too much like the old times and don't take into account quality of life, you will run into people will run into that wall and they will hate it.
But that's precisely why I pointed to Delta, because I think Delta upgrades itself enough with modern conveniences, personally.
Yeah. Like a movable camera, which granted was added to the Metal Gear Solid 3 Collector's Edition, Subsistence, which I have somewhere around here. But to the point where Subsistence was the one I actually played.
It's
on
not just
PlayStation 2.
It's not just that. It's the fact you can crouch walk, which is a massive innovation for that game.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you could switch your camos with an interactive menu in the game, not having to go into a menu, then mess about with
menu,
things.
It took me a while to figure out how to get into that, but once you found it, it's like, oh my god, being able to just quickly swap between the ones you use the most.
That quick menu was such a game changer for me in that game. So, and I'm somebody who loves the original. So.
I wanted to counterpoint the idea of that if you kind of return to the basics, if you kind of return to the less diluted mechanics, it will have to be niche. I feel like we've had many examples that shown us that if a game has a good idea about itself, and it's interesting enough and it's fun enough, people are gonna want to give it a chance, despite the fact that they were thinking this game was not for them. This is kind of what happened when everyone wanted to play the newest Resident Evil. This is kind of what happened where everyone wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3, despite not really being an RPG person. This is kind of the thing when everyone wanted to play like Silksong, despite not being much into Metroidvania.
Yes, but you cannot rely on that.
No, you cannot rely on that. You have to take risks. This is why it will be an indie game, a sort of AA game. Because big publishers don't take risks.
Yeah, no, I will also point out, you are correct. Like, a lot of people tried these things, but that's one, also because it's part of the zeitgeist and a lot of people wanted to get on the bandwagon because it was popular. Of course, some will have stayed because it was their jam, but let's not beat around the bush. It was because those things were popular, not because that
is true. But
however, let me finish. Especially with Silksong, we don't know how many people continued this. I think a lot of people, especially with Silksong, this is probably just a Silksong thing, to be frank, who ran straight into that wall and like pushed as hard as they could against it, and then was just like, you know what, fuck this, and then just.
I mean, the thing is, we don't know what is like the ratio
we don't know, but
to the people who bounced. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. We don't know what is the ratio of the people who ran into because it was the zeitgeist, bounced off, and ended up not liking this and figuring out this is not for them, to people who entered the game and realized, yeah, this is kind of for me, or like realize this is for me, but maybe this is too difficult, I'm gonna try something else like Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I understand, but what I'm trying to say is it's a niche game it's a niche game at the ground level kind of thing. You cannot rely on you cannot rely on it becoming big because people come in and say, hey, actually, I quite like this kind of thing. You have to think, okay, I need to appeal to my core who are these people I'm trying to appeal to? Go for those people and those people only. If we get other people in because they play the game and they're like, hey, actually, I kind of vibe with this, that's absolutely great. You cannot rely on that, though.
I agree.
Which is why, if I may make a statement,
yes.
Which is why, in my opinion, the single genre game, stealth or horror or whatnot, is becoming more and more the territory of the indie developer, because
Yes.
AAA developers will always go, we have to mix genres because it will throw the largest net and carry the most weight and get us the most buyers. So you'll
Yes.
find stealth action games like Metal Gear Solid, or you'll find horror like whatever Five Nights at Freddy's has become these days. And you'll always find mixtures being thrown out by AAA developers, whereas the indie developers, they're less certain. They're trying new things. They're doing their own things. You'll find stealth games or pure horror games with indies.
I'm gonna bring
They
it.
have less to lose.
I'm gonna bring it right back to Cleared Hot as a prime example.
Bingo, yeah.
Aimed at a very specific demographic and has managed to get a lot of people like, this looks quite interesting, actually. So I do agree with Shadow. I do agree with both Shadow and Shadow in a weird way. I agree with Shadow that you need to focus on who your target audience are, and anyone you get extra is extra and brilliant. But doesn't say that you can't, with a good marketing campaign and a clever marketing campaign, appeal to those who might not. Like I always say, the Hitman games are just one good marketing campaign away from getting more players without realizing, hey, you can throw you can yeet a suitcase at someone, and knock them out.
You can kill someone with a passion fruit.
You could cause someone to slip on a banana peel and fall off a building.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. And I do see where Bo's coming from in that regard, but I think it's because shit, I knew what I was going to say, and all my words have decided to disappear back into the dictionary. I think it's because the reason why those games got as popular as they were is because they knew what they were doing. They did that one thing that then they did it so well that other people were like, hey, this is pretty cool, kind of thing. And I think that's the point. It's like you aim niche, you do the one thing that you want to do, and you do it well, and then other people see it.
Yeah,
that's
but
how this goes.
For that, you have to be deeply and madly in love with the game you're making, which is why we have Expedition 33 getting 12 nominations at TGA.
Yeah, you have to like fucking...
JRPG is a niche genre as well, kind of.
Yeah, I don't remember what game it was, but I remember playing a game, and I could sense the devs who made the game fucking loved it. They were just there was so much love and passion put into it, and I think I might have bounced off it really, but I could just tell like whoever made this game fucking loved it, kind of thing. You can tell when devs really love their game. It oozes out of every pore, kind of thing.
I wanted to say one thing for mixing and matching kind of elements of genres in games. I've noticed that when I was playing some of the games that are very heavily single genre, if you kind of mix a bit the different elements of different genres, it helps prevent the sort of gameplay fatigue. I don't know whether you've ever had that when playing a game that does everything like within the same genre and does everything the same. Like, for example, games that I really love and really enjoy playing, like Desperados 3 or Shadow and Gambit Cursed Crew. They are amazing games, but you do all the time, you do the same kind of mechanics, the same gameplay loop. And after a while, especially that sometimes a mission in Shadow Gambit can be 1.5 hour long.
Oof.
You are kind of exhausted. You get the genre fatigue. You have to take 1 day or 2 day break from the game. When you have sort of mix up of different genres, when you have like RPG with puzzle elements, or puzzle game with horror elements, or horror game with action elements, it helps change, sort of suddenly shift your paradigm. You are playing a horror game, but suddenly you switch to action game, and you can rest and relax from the horror game. I hope we didn't lose the stream and Enoch.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I was worried, but
Karen?
you suddenly can rest from the horror doing the puzzle. or doing the action, or you can rest for a bit from like let's take for example the Jedi games as a sort of mix of a bit of roguelike, no roguelike, sorry, a bit of Souls-like, a bit of Metroidvania, a bit of action game. You it's not like pure Souls-like, so you have a lot of like visiting places, using skills that you didn't have before. You can go to new old places and utilize new skills to get into new places. It kind of helps you rest a bit from the fighting the enemies or solving the puzzles or progressing the story forward. And I think when you have a good balance of those mixes, when you have a good balance of the genres, the game really benefits from that.
It's just
Well
getting
done,
those.
right.
Yeah.
I will say whatever you could say a lot of things about BioWare, but putting a dating sim inside an RPG was a great take, and yes.
They invented the ideas of having relationship mechanics in video games, effectively, in terms of like RPGs. So
I think so. I can't. There's a part of me that's just like, well, it sounds. A part of me is like, this surely this was done before BioWare, but I couldn't think. I can't.
Someone at some point must. Sorry.
Yeah.
Someone at some point must have gotten into the conclusion that having relationships, any kind of like friendship, camaraderie, but also romance or just friends with benefits with your party is like essential thing to RPGs.
Look, I'm just
maybe not necessarily you have to have a bard in every party you're straight to seduce everything that doesn't run up the tree, but you do get people who immediately get the best buddies. You do get people that immediately are so miserable that they have to be in a party together. There's just all kind of the really. Also, this is something that I would love games to experience a bit more, when you have different kinds of relationships that you can pursue.
Yes, I think that's the next. I think that's the next frontier for them, because it's been mostly romantic, and sometimes platonic. But they need.
I think we talked about that in a previous episode, didn't we?
Yeah, I will say sometimes it's just funny to put two companions in a party who fucking hate one another just to see the sparks fly.
That is quite fun.
Dragon Age was very good. I'm just putting put Anders and Fenris in the party together and watch the sparks fly.
That's another reason to play Dispatch, because when you dispatch different heroes together, they do bounce off each other, and you get some brilliant dialogues. For example, one of my favorites is there is a character played by Jacksepticeye. He's a short little Irishman who beats people up. And if you put him in the same part, if you put him in the selection first, and then put Waterboy, the new kid, in with him, Waterboy goes, "Top of the morning to you!" And which is Jacksepticeye's catchphrase, and Jack's character goes, "Don't you even try it."
All right.
Which is why it's so hilarious when you like put Lae'zel and Shadowheart together in a team.
Yeah, and they're just bitching each other the entire time.
All right.
The girls are fighting again.
Well, we've had a conversation about homogenization in video games, and generally it's just a conversation. It's not really a conclusion. I think that it can be. Some games need to have like elements of everything. Like, I don't think Outlaws would be anything if it would. You know, you can't have GTA without driving. You can't have GTA without shooting. There are elements which takes from all, but also we kind of like to have a bit of a specialty dish every now and then, like a stealth game, like a horror game. And I think, yes, I do agree that companies need to realize that. Well, is there any more to add before we wrap it up?
Not really.
I feel like I just wanted to. It all depends on the intent in which you are adding things to one pot.
If the publisher is pushing genres because it'll like diversify the portfolio and sell more, then you're probably not on the best route.
No, at the end that was something so bland no one wants to eat.
Yeah, Shadow?
Yeah, remember, when you put an extra genre in your game, that's another year's worth of work to get it up to snuff. I hope you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say a year.
Just sit there.
Conservative.
Just sit there play it and you're thinking, I'm not sure this is worth thinking about or considering, just sit there and think to yourself, did Fallout 4 really need to have base building mechanics in it?
No, we
To
didn't.
be fair, that was the only thing I really did in Fallout 4.
Yeah, but guess who did? World of Warcraft. Where is that?
Yeah. But yes.
In fairness, they are getting like housing soon. They are getting
Yeah.
housing. How many years has World of Warcraft been
Yeah.
out?
2021.
Years.
When are they bringing out World of Warcraft 2?
They never will. Well, that's gonna be it from us tonight. My name, of course, is Back, and I've been joined here by Burr.
Final hot take. I really enjoyed the stealth section in Spider-Man 2.
I do as well. I want to thank Lemming for joining us.
Top of the morning to you.
Don't you start there, lad.
And I want to thank Shadow for joining.
Gambit is for fucking healing. If I insta-lock Gambit, I swear I'm healing. I swear I'm healing. I swear.
Gambit is for everyone.
Gambit is for fucking and healing.
All right, then. With that, we're out. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.